Are the home team. The Astros are in this third game of the division series. So the Oakland A's will have Marcus Semien at the top with Tommy La Stella at second base. Chad Pinder's at third. Chris Davis is the DH with Matt Olson at first base. Mark Canha's in left. Stephen Piscotty's in right with Ramon Laureano in center field. Sean Murphy is going to do the catching. He bats out of the 9 spot for the Oakland A's, who hope to get this offense going, and it's going to be against Jose Urquidy in this game.
Yeah, who's been tough during the postseason. Has really good numbers, as you see there, 14 1/3, only 2 earned runs. Only 5 starts this year as he recovered from COVID. Turning him today with the ball, he's going to be, for the most part, fastball, cutter, the occasional changer and change-up and slider. So he's been pretty darn good this year. And catching for him today will be the same we've seen almost all year. Maldonado is going to be behind the plate. Good series with the home run yesterday. Strong defensive arm. See that Gold Glove there for him. And then going around the infield, one of the best infields in baseball. You got Bregman, Correa, Altuve, and Yuli Gurriel over there at first base. And then the outfield, Brantley in left, Springer in center, and the young Kyle Tucker in right.
So we got a rookie matchup here as the starting pitchers for this game 3 of the series. And Marcus Semien will lead it off here for the Oakland A's in the top of the first inning. As Semien checks in 5 games at .368 so far in the postseason, and he's part of the top 4 here that they're trying to see more of in this Oakland A's series right now, and trying to see more offense is what they're trying to do and get guys on base. You know, they've had some home runs, but they've been solo shots, and it has just not been the way the Oakland A's operated during the regular season. So here we go. Urquidy ready to work for the Astros, and the first pitch of this one is sent foul off to the right now to play.
We saw Chris Davis before the game down there getting the team pumped up. Look, this is a team that had the 2nd best record in the AL. We figured on coming out, you're going to see some fight from these guys today, and it starts right here with Semien.
He will lift this in the air to shallow left. Correa back at third and in fair ground. Will stagger but secure out number 1. So Semien is retired for the first out here of the first inning. The high skies here, no clouds above Dodger Stadium as we get it started. And Tommy La Stella coming up. Stella, the second baseman for the Athletics. A .281 regular season for La Stella. As the Astros are going to go on a shift on the right side. As Correa heads over there to join Altuve and Gurriel on the right side. First pitch strike, the high strike from Urquidy. Urquidy with 5 starts during the regular season, 1-1 with a 52.73 earned run average.
He's coming out here right away, throwing strikes, being efficient. Stella 0 for 6 in his career against Urquidy, so looking for that first hit.
Simply cooler here today, 81 degrees. We were at 91 yesterday. A fly ball down the right field line. Out goes Altuve. Tucker coming in towards the line and foul ground, and nobody will have a chance. A few rows out of his reach. See Urquidy's features as he comes into this starting game 3.
Yeah, you got the 4-seamer, slider, changeup, and that curveball that you saw him just sort of the top of the zone. Does a good job of working both sides of the plate. We've said it. Not a lot of innings in the big leagues, only 85, but some good success for him in the postseason.
He's allowed just 4 hits and 1 run in 9 1/3, pitched in 2 career postseason starts at the Nationals in 2019, and that was in the World Series, and the Twins this year. His first start of this postseason of 2020. So here he is for his 3rd postseason start. And you could hear in Dusty Baker's voice today how confident he is in this guy.
He should be. He's got good stuff. He's very poised out there.
To center field, and Springer going back. It'll take him to the track at the wall. It's gone. A home run. Tommy La Stella puts the Oakland A's on top 1-0 in the first inning. Ball's been flying out of here, and it's the A's who get today's first home run. Straightaway center field for Tommy La Stella.
We said a minute ago, Don, it's a little cooler at 81, but I think we're seeing the ball is still flying. That's one of those where Urquidy throws 5 pitches, all around the strike zone, and he hangs a curveball. You see LaStella. He knew it. Springer knew it.
401 feet away as Pinder swings through that for strike one. Good start for the Athletics today, jumping on top 1-0 on Urquidy here in the first inning. Well, Pinder was placed into the starting lineup yesterday. Came off the bench in game one, and he bats third for the second straight day for Bob Melvin.
Yeah, he had the big blast to right center yesterday into the seats about halfway up the outfield stands. You said it best earlier. Look, Bob Melvin, you look at numbers, rhyme, reason. A lot of what he's done today is I'm putting my best hitters up there early, try to get something going, try to get guys on. So far, so good for him.
Because in front of those home runs, there was no one yesterday. 2 solo home runs. Gonna look at the home run swing for Tommy LaStella.
Yeah, such a professional hitter. Stays inside the ball, lets it travel so well. That's one when you get a hanger, he's able to drop the bat head on it and line it out to center.
This is to left field and struck pretty well. Back goes Brantley towards the warning track. That's going to be off the wall. Plays the carom, and to second base goes Pinder. He'll slide in safely. Wall ball double has Pinder at second with 1 down. That nearly got out of here.
Is that the first ball we've seen hit to the outfield that hasn't been caught or gone? That's gone for a double. Another curveball here, and Pinder got out front of it a little bit. As you said, with the ball flying, great swing, stayed through it.
You know, the Oakland A's, they had their dugout fired up before this game. And it was Chris Davis who was starting it all, really. And here he is. This guy has been the offense for the Oakland A's in this series. Homer in game 1, homer in game 2. He's got 3 home runs now in the postseason. And he is trying to will his way to a 4th game here along with his teammates. And he was really fired up. It was fun to watch. And it seems like you really needed somebody for the Oakland A's to really take the helm in that regard and get them fired up.
Yeah, we talked yesterday in the afternoon some. Valdez was great. Greatest down in the bullpen. Presley were good. But just you didn't see, to me, the fight that second half of the game yesterday that you're used to seeing from this team and the players. And I think that's what you saw from Chris Davis for the game. A guy, a leader of this team, getting his team going.
And coming into this series, you really felt like there was a revenge factor, too, for the Oakland A's. They had finished second back-to-back seasons with 97 wins. Had to play that wild card game. Didn't win as a result of the Astros. And now they win the West this year, and they come in with a new attitude and a chance to kind of knock the Astros out. And they dropped the first 2 games. It was really quite stunning. As we take a look at with runners in scoring position, 0 for 6. In game 2, they had 0 runners in scoring position. Gives you an idea about getting guys on. Just we're not doing it. Swing and a miss here, and Davis strikes out. First K for Urquidy today. 2 down.
Good fastball. Got to it. Got the call in the 1-1 pitch. Maybe a ball in off the plate. That being said, comes back with probably his best fastball of the afternoon.
So Davis strikes out, 2 down, and it'll bring up Matt Olson.
You said with this Oakland team, it's crazy to think they had no runners in scoring position yesterday. You have to go back all the way to July 29th of 18 versus Colorado when that happened for this Oakland team. 281 games since.
A shift here on the right side on Olson, who homered in the first game, and he'll take a strike over the inside corner. Talked a lot about the defense here for the Astros, and they've been doing this fairly consistently. They bring Correa to the right side. He joins Altuve and Gurriel on the right side. And it is Altuve in short right, and Olson has grounded into this scenario a couple of times. This one fouled off to the left out of play.
And I said during the open, Matt Olson, Mark Canha, those were the 2 guys for me that Canha and Olson that had to do something to me this series to get this team jump started in the middle of the lineup. You've seen already the first 4 hitters. You got a home run and a double. Need someone to drive them in. 2 guys very capable of doing it.
0-2 pitch kind of get jammed and pops it up foul ground. Maldonado coming back. He's got to play, and he makes it over by the on-deck circle, and that'll wrap up the top of the first inning. But Tommy La Stella has homered for the Oakland A's to put the Athletics on top 1-0 after half an inning in Game 3. But on top of the first inning, Astros coming up in the bottom of the first inning. George Springer, the top of the order for the Astros, with Altuve at second. Brantley is in left. Bregman at third. Correa at short with Tucker in right. Gurriel at first. Diaz in the lineup for the first time in this series. And Maldonado does the catching, batting out of the 9 spot. Jesus Luzardo on the mound today for Game 3 with a lead before he even took the hill today.
Yeah, he's who they've entrusted with the ball this elimination game. You see in the wild card, he got the start in Game 1, 3 1/3, 6 hits, a couple home runs. But a guy that's got a live fastball. You see it already with a couple 96s. He's got a changeup at 87 and a curve at the low 80s. So looking for a big start from him. And more than anything, Don, they're looking for a shutdown inning. 4 times this series the A's have scored. 6 times, sorry, they've scored an inning. 4 times the Astros come back and scored. So right here, they need a shutdown inning.
Right out of the gate, too, here in the bottom of the first inning. And this is a tough guy to shut down because of what he has done in this series. He was 6 for 9 in this series. He's having a .389 postseason. 2 home runs. It has been impressive, and it starts with him at the top of the order for the Astros. And they have been electric so far in the postseason. They've not lost. 4 games, 4 wins for this edition of the Houston Astros.
Yeah, Springer has really carried this team these first 2 games. Obviously, guys putting up big numbers, but I told you before, it reminds me so much of Carlos Beltran in 04 at the Astros when he went over there and carried that team. Same kind of deal here. He has been outstanding.
Going into his free agent offseason, too. What a time for him.
And I think that's why I mentioned Beltran, because he went to New York after that and got a nice long-term deal. Springer, whether it's in Houston or somewhere else, he's going to get paid.
He leads it off here as Dusty Baker, very pleased, as you might imagine, with the first 2 games of this series. We talked to him this morning and was not really sure if he was going to get Greinke back in this series or not, whether he would pitch or not. Some question about his elbow and not feeling great. So it is Urquidy who gets the start today, but he's more concerned about his offense and keeping it going here and finishing off the Oakland A's here in Game 3.
Well, that's, I think, what he's banking on. If my offense continues to hit, I don't really have to worry too much about who's on the mound.
And how good has this bullpen been? We talked about the Oakland A's leading the majors. Well, the Astros have been every bit as good, if not better. Fly ball, sky to center. Laureano coming in, high sky. But he's there for out number 1. So Springer's retired. You're doing yourself a favor there.
And catching Luzardo today, Sean Murphy behind the plate for the 3rd consecutive day. Great catch and throw. And going around the infield, Bender at 3rd, Semien, La Stella, Matt Olson over there, Gold Glove at first base. And in the outfield, Mark Canha, Laureano, and Piscotty again gets a start in right field today.
Yeah, 2nd day in a row. 1 down here in the 1st, and it brings up Jose Altuve. A .219 regular season, very surprising for Altuve.
I wonder if Luzardo has looked at some of the film of Mike Minor the last 2 games facing the Astros. He's been maybe their most effective reliever. And you see that how he's trying to come in right there, even though it's a back foot slider. To me, he did a good job in his 2 innings of backing these Astros hitters off the plate, making them feel a little bit uncomfortable, and then being able to go away. And I think you're seeing that a little bit now. He has got to pitch in on this Astros team. You cannot let them get extension.
1-1. And that is up and away for ball 2. He became the 2nd youngest pitcher to start a postseason opener for the A's. He started against the White Sox in the wild card series. Only Vida Blue was younger in 1971. He is the 3rd Athletics rookie pitcher to start multiple games in a single postseason. This is driven out towards deep left center field for Altuve, and this game is tied. 1 swing of the bat from Jose Altuve, and the Astros tie it up 1-1. So trading solo shots, and this one was a blast to left center field for Altuve.
Looks like he gets a hanging changeup on this pitch. There's that extension you're talking about. You can see that was a no-doubter for him. Now it's the 7th time Don that the A's have scored a run. 5 times the Astros have answered. They have to find a way to get this shut down.
And again, it's a long ball getting it done. We have seen in the early portions of these games that home run balls flying out of Dodger Stadium. And today, an earlier start than we had in the first 2 games. Shadows became a big part of the first 2 games. We were starting earlier. They may not be so much today. We'll see. Michael Brantley bats now with 1 down and the game tied.
1-1.
96, but too far in. And the shift on the right side are the Athletics. Is LaStella in that short right field spot. Simeon's over there. Altuve has tied this game. Only 5 home runs during the regular season for Jose. Grounder, and that'll get through the shift on the right side. Base hit from Michael Brantley with 1 out. Had it stacked up, but it didn't work. Gets through.
Another good fastball from a lefty to Michael Brantley, and all he does is turn on it. We saw it Diekman. Yesterday we saw it with Manaea, and now here in the 3rd game, Luzardo. Righty, lefty, it doesn't matter. Brantley can square up anything.
So 1 out. Brantley at first base, going to be held on by Olson, and here is Alex Bregman. Bregman with 1 home run in this series. He is 3 for 14 so far in the postseason. And he bats out of the cleanup spot for the Astros. This one is to left center, and that's going to get in for a base hit. Over to play it is Canna. Heading for 3rd is Brantley. The throw will go to 2nd and keep the double play in order. And they're at the corners for the Astros here in the bottom of the 1st inning.
This pitch down in the zone. You see Bregman hits it off the end of the bat. That's Bregman hitting about 100 points higher against left-handed pitching this year. And now he brings up Correa with a chance to take the lead.
1st and 3rd with 1 out, a run in. And Carlos Correa, 6 for 14 in the postseason. 2 home runs in this series. And here he is with runners at the corners and 1 out. Luzardo could use a ground ball somewhere in the infield right now to get out of this mess right now with the game tied.
There's a good changeup.
Mariano, the center fielder, over towards right center for Correa to go the other way. Double play depth in the middle with Bregman at first, Brantley at 3rd. Here's a ground ball to 3rd base. Pinder will go to 2nd for 1, on to 1st, and it's not in time. Run will score from 3rd. Brantley comes in, and the Astros take a 2-1 lead. Kind of threw a changeup there to 1st base, and able to beat it out as Correa, and the Astros take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, good chance at a double play ball. Pinder gets rid of it good, and let's see here. Yeah, LaStella got rid of it good, but as you said, just didn't have much on the throw. You can see Olson doing all he can, but good hustle by Correa and gets himself an RBI.
That was a heck of a stretch. He was doing all he could. But reaching at first is Correa. And he'll pick up an RBI. The Astros pick up their 2nd run, and they've taken the lead. Here is Kyle Tucker. It's dropped down in the order a little bit. Steve Baker saying he's trying to shake it up a little bit. He's got Tucker moving down, and Gurriel, who has struggled so far in the postseason, moving down as well. And boy, the results have been still pretty good. You know, you hate to tinker with a lineup that's worked really well, but Dusty did today.
Yeah, and I don't think this is a huge deal with the fact you have a lefty on the mound, so you got a chance to get Correa up there 5th and put Tucker in between him and Gurriel.
The shift was on, so this is Pinder into foul ground, and he'll have no play. He had a very long way to go. He would get there, but it's a few rows deep and out of his reach. Jose at first base here with 2 down in the first inning, and Kyle Tucker, who's now down in the count, 0-2. They have 9 home runs during the regular season. They are shifting on him on the right side. Gets jammed and pops it up to the right side. Shortstop Simeon. He is there to make the catch. It ends the inning, but the Astros answer with 2 in the inning, including the home run by Jose Altuve, who tied it up. Correa grounds into a fielder's choice, and the Astros have a 2-1 lead in Game 3.
Stadium with the Astros up 2-1 on the A's as we head to the top of the second. Like folks around the world, players have experienced a wide range of different symptoms and experiences from COVID-19, and that includes both of today's starting pitchers. The A's Jesus Luzardo experienced no symptoms whatsoever and was able to return to his team for opening day. Different story for Jose Urquidy. Says he only experienced symptoms for a day, but because he tested positive 4 times, he was forced to isolate in his hotel for more than 5 weeks. Obviously couldn't throw in there. He did lots of push-ups, lots of squats, some light weights. But when he came back, it took him weeks to build up arm strength. He didn't make his season debut until September 5. In other words, a month before this series began.
It's unbelievable what some of the guys have been through this year. So many challenges.
You're reading where Urquidy said, I spent 30 to 35 days in my hotel. I mean, we spent 3 days when we were about like caged animals.
Yes.
Much less that long, but kudos to him for doing what he needed to do to get back. Not only get back, John, but get back and throw well.
Mazatlan, Mexico. Jose Urquidy getting the start here today. And Luzardo on the other side. It is 2-1. The Astros on top of the Oakland A's. A's coming to bat here in the top of the second inning. Canna, Piscotty, Laureano in the inning. And there's an 0-2 that is sent out towards deep right center field. Back goes Springer at the wall, and that ball is gone. A home run. Mark Canna had 5 during the regular season, and he ties the game at 2. So home run derby again today from Dodger Stadium in L.A.
Now, a guy in the middle of the lineup they've been waiting to get going. Didn't like the fastball call that home plate umpire Jerry Meals gave him here. He gets a hanging off speed pitch. Second home run given up on a off speed pitch up in the zone. Pretty swing.
So a home run in the first for Tommy La Stella. Mark Canna with a home run to lead off the second. And Stephen Piscotty, the recipient of ball 1.
And finally something for the A's to kind of give it back. You know, give up 2 runs, get 1 back, tie the game, and not let those shutdown innings for the Astros pitchers.
A heavyweight fight going on right now. A swing and a miss here for Piscotty. Second straight start for Piscotty, getting the start in right field. They shift on him on the left side, and he'll foul this one back to the screen.
And he's doing a good job right now of getting that fastball on the inner half. 94-95. You see the late swing there. He's getting a couple calls. Struck out Davis with a good fastball, but all 3 hits, the 2 home runs and a double, breaking ball pitches.
And again today, it feels like anything in the air has a chance to leave this ballpark.
The biggest surprise so far is Pender's ball stayed in the ballpark for the double.
Leadoff home run by Canna here in the second inning ties the game 2-2. And here is a 2-2 pitch to Piscotty. Turns on that, sends it a long way foul. Such a large cavernous stadium here, Dodger Stadium, with nothing but cutouts. Seems very strange.
Yes, it does. One of the great venues for playoff baseball, but this year empty.
In the air to right field, and Tucker circling out there. Comes in to make the catch, battling the high sky for out number 1 of the second inning. Let's take a look at Inside the Numbers presented by DraftKings.
And you can see that it's 2 pitches with a lot of movement, the slider and curveball. Unfortunately, those 2 pitches for him today have been up in the zone every time they've gotten hurt. Got to find a way to get that pitch down.
A lot of slide on the slider.
Yeah.
As Laureano bats out of the 8 spot, the Oakland A's really have to get him going here. And one of these struggling Oakland A's, 2 for 18 in the 2020 postseason for Laureano. He bats towards the bottom of the order. He bats 8, but has not been able to produce much of anything here in the postseason. Maldonado, after that last pitch, is headed out to talk to Urquidy.
Just a couple breaking balls. I'm surprised with how good his fastball's been today. He's kind of shying away from it. And it's by far been his best pitch.
Maldonado did the bulk of the talking there for the most part.
Probably trying to get on the same page or remind him how good his fastball is. Because, you know, a lot of times I think we just think the pitcher's going to do what the catcher says. He might be putting some down, but that pitcher, he's got to be convicted what he wants to throw.
Fouled off to the right, out of play, and it's 2-1. So again, like yesterday, the Oakland A's, they're hitting home runs, but they're doing it solely. Is that a word? Solely?
Yeah, I think so.
Swing and a miss.
You're asking the wrong guy. I make up a couple words a day.
Well, how about this? They have 2 solo home runs today.
Yeah.
Nobody in front of them, and that's been a problem.
No, you're right. They, even though the Astros have quite a few themselves, they've at least been able to have some 2-run homers.
This one fouled back above us. Do it again. 2-2. Springer over towards right center for Laureano to go the other way, and that one gets his bat, it appears, and is fouled off. Pitch up and in. Inadvertent contact there. Popped up foul off to the right, out of play.
Yeah, we've seen Houston's offense 7 through 9 hole get some production. This is where Oakland's got to be able to do a little something today, to me, to get some guys on for the top of the lineup. 7 through 9 hitters coming in today. We're 3 for 21 this series.
It's away, and it's a full count. Let's look at that slider, and it does move quite a bit. Kind of a sweeping slider. As you mentioned, some of the earlier sliders have been up. 9th pitch coming up here to Laureano. And that is ball 4. So there you go. There's a walk. We had 1 down in the inning, and the A's are able to get a runner on.
Well, and that's another pitch for me, Don, that I've just, he got some bad fouls on the fastball, bad swings on it, and you throw 2 breaking ball pitches, 2-2, 3-2, to allow him to get on.
Strom, his pitching coach, looking on from the dugout, and 1 out, 1 on. Sean Murphy out of the 9 spot. 5 postseason games, got 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Throw over, and diving back safely is Laureano. Held on by Gurriel. Murphy takes a strike and is down 0-1. He's had to throw a lot of pitches here. Next pitch will be the 40th of his outing, and that's in an inning into 3rd so far. So having to work hard early.
And I think that's what Bob Melvin wants today. Get to that Houston bullpen in the 4th or 5th. Make you see some guys that not necessarily their strong guys at the back end.
And there are some that are not available. Dusty Baker saying today that they want to stay away from Paredes. Yesterday went with him. He came in for the 1 inning. Not available today, and he's been really good.
Oh, he's been great, but yeah, I mean, he's thrown 3 innings in the last 2 games. Got to find a way to stay away for him. So for Oakland offensively, this is your game plan. Try to get him out of the game early and get to some of that middle relief, the guys that have not pitched yet.
On the other side, as far as bullpens go, Bob Melvin told us we will see Liam Hendricks today Maybe not in a save situation. May see him earlier in the game if it warrants.
Yeah, I think you could see him anywhere from the 4th through the 9th inning. It all depends the situation and what's going. I could see in the 5th, 6th, if the Astros were to load the bases or something with the A's with the lead, that could be the spot he goes to him.
The back is against the wall, of course, and this one is popped up foul off to the right. 0-2 to Sean Murphy, who's battling away like a lot of these A's hitters are against Jose Urquidy.
And his pitch count, as you said, 41, but he's had 5 0-2 counts today. So
just can't put him away.
Exactly.
To find something to do so as he looks into Martin Maldonado. Find out what they're going to do, what the plan is. And it's again lofted foul off to the right, out of play.
And he got away with that one. That was a hanging breaking ball, middle, a little bit up, a good pitch for Murphy to handle, and he just missed it.
Well, the home run by Canna started this inning. To right center field, and Piscotty flied out to right. Laureano earns the walk after a lengthy battle. Now Murphy down to the count 0-2, but he's fouling some stuff off. Featured by Urquidy. Game tied up 2-2. That is strike 3. Second strikeout for Urquidy, and 2 down here in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, that's a perfectly located fastball at 94 on the outside corner. Maldonado barely has to move his glove. Good pitch. You can see it splits the bottom part of the zone down. Not much you can do with that pitch.
2 down. Laureano still at first base, and here is Semien. Popped out to his counterpart at shortstop in Carlos Correa in the 1st inning. Takes strike 1. .350 average so far in the 2020 postseason for Semien. Takes a pretty good hack right there and finds himself down 0-2. We saw 5 home runs hit by the teams combined in game 2 after 6 were hit in game 1. So far today we got 3 home runs and we're in the top of the 2nd inning. So here we go again.
Yeah. I think we're seeing a trend here. The ball is flying out here in LA these 3 games. And it's really who can get the guy on base or 2 guys and hit the long ball. Could be the difference in this game. The team that hits the 3-run homer instead of solo shots.
Semien drives this to center field, but Springer has got a beat on it. Battling the sun will make the catch out there, and that will end the top of the 2nd inning. But Canna with a home run has tied this game 2-2 in game 3 of the ALDS. We are tied 2-2 as we get ready for the bottom of the 2nd inning. But before we do, let's check in with Matt Weiner.
Yeah, Don, let's update you on the numbers that Jeff was talking about a while ago. So the A's score in the 2nd inning. That's the 8th inning in this series in which they have scored. 5 times of the previous 7. The Astros have responded in the next half inning by scoring themselves. So of their 17 total runs in this series, 13 have come immediately after Oakland scores. And Frenchie, you mentioned it, at some point, if Oakland's going to extend the series, they need a shutdown inning.
Yeah, agreed, Matt. And then with that being said, this was kind of the first time we saw the A's answer the Astros for the first time, kind of flip the script. Something they're going to have to do the rest of this game to, as you said, get back in this series.
Gurriel leading it off here for the Astros. 7, 8, and 9 for Houston here in the 2nd inning. Gurriel, Diaz, Maldonado featured in the inning, and this one is popped up foul off to the right, out of play.
Well, in the playoffs, you want that pitcher to feel stress pitches. I think that's a big key. You know, you watch the
Urquidy is. He's got 46 pitches.
And that's the first time really that an Astros pitcher I felt like, besides McCullers the first 4 innings, when Houston did, or when the A's did score a lot of runs. When you let guys, you saw Valdez yesterday, he felt comfortable out there, never really had to sweat. Makes it a lot easier, and for that team to feel comfortable in 1, 2, 3.
46 pitches through the first 2 innings. He gives up a home run in the first, a home run in the second, both solo shots.
3-2.
Zardo missing there, and we've got a full count to Gurriel. Leads it off here in the second inning. Ledmees Diaz makes his first appearance of the series, and he is on deck. This one is line to left. Canna on the sinking liner will make the catch out there for out number 1.
Yeah, big out for Luzardo there. One of the few guys in that lineup that really has had a lot of success off him. 3 for 5 with 2 home runs coming in that at bat off Luzardo.
Here comes Diaz. He's the DH in this game. Bats out of the 8th spot. 3 homers, 6 RBIs during the regular season, a .241 average. And getting the nod here today as the designated hitter. Zardo missing at 98 up and away.
Yeah, and I thought we might see this today with Reddick, a lefty yesterday played. Give him a day off today and let Diaz face the lefty.
1-0.
The pinch hit was 0 for 1 in game 1 of the ALDS. Swing and a miss there makes it 2-1 now to Diaz. 30 years of age, on a postseason roster for the second time in his career. He's on the roster in 2019 as well. He's all over. He's played third base, second base, first base, left field. Being used in the DH capacity here in game 3 of the ALDS. Didn't miss by a lot, but he did, and Luzardo falls behind 3-1. Martin Maldonado waiting on deck. That one is fouled away, and a full count now to Diaz.
I think you can tell Luzardo's arm's feeling pretty good today. 97 down in the zone.
Yep.
We saw a couple 98s.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Diaz. First K of the day for Luzardo. 2 down here in the second inning.
Good changeup. See the action downward plane. Diaz way out in front.
Let's take a look at Inside the Numbers presented by DraftKings. The out pitches this season for Luzardo. Some soft stuff for the most part, which is kind of surprising because he features 98 at times.
Yeah, well, I think what he does is exactly that scenario you saw there. He got ahead with 97, 98, or at least back in the count. And you have to respect that, guys. Cheat a little bit, get going, and you throw that changeup or curveball there out in front, and you get swings and misses.
Maldonado will lift one to shallow center. Out goes Lustella. Laureano coming in, and he'll make the running catch. So Luzardo with a 1-2-3 second, tied at 2 after 2 in LA. You're kind enough to join us live from the dugout. Dusty, I feel like this is the same question I've asked 3 days in a row. Ball flying out of here right now. What is going on?
Well, I don't know. It's flying out of here, to right center, because I didn't think, Lustella's ball was going to be gone as far as it went, and then Canna's ball, just kept on going. So it looked like it's traveling better to right and right center than it is to left and left center. But hey, man, it's going to travel today anyway.
Dusty Urquidy, 46 pitches. You looking for him to kind of get this inning going? Not really the feel for his breaking ball yet. You said 3 off-speed pitches for the hit. Would you like to see him go to that fastball a little more?
Well, I'd like to see him either locate the fastball better or either, find his breaking ball. Because like that one right there is a breaking ball. You can't find the feel of it. He's either hanging it or throwing it in the dirt. So, it's very important, with this club here, they're a fastball hitting club. So, you got to have that breaking ball.
Carlos Correa at the end of the regular season said that they just got to get to the postseason and show what they can do. Boy, these first 4 games, it shows what they can do so far. You got to be very pleased.
Well, I'm very pleased at the way our offense is coming around. And, in Minnesota, our offense wasn't there that much because it was kind of cool and our pitching carried us. But here, our offense is carrying it. So, hopefully we can continue. This game could end up 10-9. I mean, you can tell the way that ball's flying out now. It's going to make it a little tough. knowing when to take your starter out. I think the pitch count and the situation is going to, determine that.
Dusty, you've managed a lot of great players. How about having Michael Brantley in that 3-hole? Lefty, righties, that guy just puts up professional at-bats.
Well, it looked like he's not even swinging, really, and the ball just travels. But, like he has as tension to free swing as I've ever seen since Will Clark. You know what I mean? It looks like they just, very fluid motion. His nickname is Smooth, and you don't know where to play him. He can go, line to line. He can take you out of here.
Dusty, thanks so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Dusty Baker joining us from the dugout live as this game is tied 2-2. And it does have the feel that 2-2 is not going to be where we're going to be for very long. It seems like this could be a high-scoring game 3.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting as we were talking about the off-speed pitch. You saw 2 off-speed pitches, a curveball and changeup to get to 2-0.
Ground ball shifting, but diving at first is Gurriel, and over is Urquidy to cover, and they retire Listello this time. He had homered in the first, grounds out here to begin the top of the 3rd inning.
That's one thing we don't get to talk about enough. Off-speed pitch, Gurriel, look at that play. Gets there, makes the perfect toss to Urquidy covering. We are lucky. We got the 2 best defensive first basemen in the American League playing in this series with Matt Olson and Yoli Gurriel.
So 1 down, and it brings up Chad Pinder. He doubled off the wall in left. And you're right, one of the few balls that has not either been caught or out of the yard. It actually hit the wall and stayed in the yard. Deep in the backyard, but in the yard. As Davis waits on deck. And 1 down. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Pinder. Both teams with 2 runs, both teams with 3 hits. Neither has made a miscue yet today. Swing and a miss, and Pinder chasing that pitch, strikes out. In between innings, had the chance to catch up with the A's manager, Bob Melvin, and I started by asking about his starting pitcher, Jesus Luzardo.
Well, on him a little bit. Looks like he's settling in right now. Usually with good starters, if you can get him early, that's your best chance. So he looks like he's settling in.
Bob, you talk about flipping the script. Y'all have had a tough time getting shutdown innings. Your offense right there answered Houston and then got a shutdown inning. Big for y'all right now.
Yeah, it was big for us. We wanted to hit first today. You're on the road. You feel a little funny when you have white pants on, but we wanted to get after it early today. We did. Listello's got us off to a really good start.
Thanks, Bob, very much.
All right.
Our thanks to both managers for joining us in this game 3. Never be easy, really, especially today. And we've met with Bob Melvin twice. We met with him this morning first and then within the game. And his back's to the wall here. And this is a big day for him, but we appreciate his effort.
Yeah, he's been great all series and tough, like you said, down 2-0.
This is popped up into center field. Springer battling the sun. And he'll make the catch. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 3rd, 2.5 in the books. Tied at 2. NLDS Game 3, Atlanta versus Miami at 2 on FS1. ALDS Game 4 necessary with us. 3:30 on TBS. And it's Tampa Bay and New York, 7 p.m. on TBS. NLDS Game 3, the Dodgers and the Padres at 9 on MLB Network. All games available, of course, on ESPN Radio. The full postseason schedule available at MLB.com. It's been a lot of fun so far in this 2020 postseason. Of course, you had the extra round of the wild card, which was fun, and now into the DSs. And this is Game 3 of the ALDS, and it's into the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the top of the Astros order, George Springer leading it off with Altuve and Brantley to follow. And this is popped up foul. That'll get back and out of play. About home runs, and you got Springer, of course, who has 2 so far in this series, all-time postseason home run list. And on top of that, Manny Ramirez with 29.
Just look at the names on those lists. I mean, talk about being in great company, and I have a feeling he's going to add to that.
Hold off to the right, out of play.
See,
5 of his 17 are at this ballpark. He likes Dodger Stadium a lot.
He does. He's had great numbers here. But you see Luzardo throwing a lot of fastballs now. I think both these guys giving up some home runs on off speed and starting to really try to establish that fastball.
You're doing yourself a favor here if you can keep Springer from doing anything. First time around, Springer flied out to center field. Luzardo trying to get him again. He's ahead of him 1-2. They shift on Springer on the left side. They have been the entire series. And a swing and a miss, and the helmet comes off as he strikes out. Second K for Luzardo, and he is settling in, as Bob Melvin said.
Good pitch, good slider. That's what you get, that 96 in their head with the fastball, establish it. You come back with that pitch and you get a nice swing and miss.
Luzardo has retired 6 Astros in a row, 1 down. Here in the 3rd inning for Jose Altuve. Lines this one to center field, and a ringing single to center as Altuve aboard with 1 down. He's 2 for 2 in this one.
He hit this fastball hard and hit his home run. He was ready for this first pitch, got it, delivered it to center field.
Brantley coming up, single to right in the 1st inning. Came around to score the 2nd Astros run. Put them on top 2-1 at the time, but the Athletics answering in the top of the 2nd inning on a leadoff solo home run from Mark Canha. We're tied up 2-2. Brantley will take the strike, and we were talking to Dusty Baker about Brantley and his swing during last inning, and it is a very free and easy swing, and it goes a long way when he makes contact.
Yeah, it's in the zone so long, that bat head. It looks like he's not even really swinging the bat that hard through the zone. But good plate discipline, and usually is able to spray it anywhere from line to line.
One for 4 yesterday with a double and a run scored in Game 2. This is his 5th trip to the postseason. A couple times with the Cleveland Indians. Runners in scoring position this year. He hit at 359, but overall this year at the plate, 300, and even 300 for Brantley. Very high. It's up at 2-2 now to Brantley. Altuve at first, 1 out here in the Astros 3rd inning. They are the home team in Game 3 of this series. They will be if tomorrow is necessary. If Game 5 is necessary, the Oakland A's would have the home field advantage, but as Bob Melvin said, they wanted to hit first today. This worked out all right.
Yeah, I think for them offensively, want to try to set the pace of this game a little bit. Get out
the tone.
Yeah, get out in front.
Deuces are wild on the scoreboard and left. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Score tied up here at 2-2. And a grounder back to the mound. Luzardo fires to second for 1, on to first. That's 2. Double play turned by the Athletics. We played 3 in Game 2, and it's all tied. Scheduled to bat. And the Oakland A's 4th inning tied up 2-2. Wilson fouled out to the catcher, Martin Maldonado, in the 1st inning. Keedy delivers this, and it's driven to deep right field. A towering home run to right. That is very gone to the back of the pavilion. Matt Olson with his 2nd home run has put the Oakland A's on top 3-2. Homered in Game 1. He homers in Game 3, and it's a 3-2 Athletics lead.
I don't know if that ball's landed yet.
Crushed to right.
Wow. Saw Giancarlo Stanton do one last night in San Diego, and this one absolutely hammered. First pitch up in the zone. Talk about that extension. Ooh.
Third home run for the A's. Canha's got one of them, and he sends one to left field. Brantley settles underneath, And he'll make the catch, Bill the cap high for out number 1. So the home run ball again has been a huge factor. 3 of them for the A's, and again another solo shot. I mean, we made fun of it, but really it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, but another run for the A's, give them the lead. Earlier in the game, talked about Olson and Canna, how they need to have a big at bat, big hit today. Both of them so far with solo shots.
Here's Piscotty, flied out to right field first time up. Olson had 14 during the regular season. Picks up his 2nd of this series. So you have Listella, who started the home runs for the A's, then Canna, more recently Olson to begin this inning. Sprays it foul.
Well, and even though Urquidy gave up the home run on a fastball, 10 outs, 8 come on fastballs, 2 have come on sliders. 8 out of 10 to end the inning last time on fastballs. You see he's changed his game plan a little bit.
Popped up down the first base line into foul ground. Gurriel tried the over the shoulder, couldn't make the catch. Ends up in the screening and on that short fencing down the right field line. He really had the only shot. You had Kyle Tucker also pursuing the right fielder.
Had a long ways to go. Tucker had no chance to get it, just ran out of room. You know, during the season, I get to do some games with the Hall of Famer Tom Glavine, and one of the big things he talks about is changing the game plan and how he sees young pitchers now not do it as much. Might stick to the game plan, ends up getting them hurt. You've seen him change it a little bit with a lot of fastballs.
As we saw a lot of breaking stuff early, and it was not effective. Talk about the solo shots for the A's. Well, 5 leadoff home runs in the series. So yeah, it's tough to have guys on when you're doing it when you're leading off. Popped up short right. It is Altuve and Gurriel. Altuve takes charge, and on the short lawn and right makes the catch for out number 2. Another look at the long home run from Matt Olson to the back of the pavilion and right.
That head stays on the ball, finishes high. No doubter.
And it puts the A's on top 3-2. But off the 4th inning now, 2 down, and Laureano will take a strike. High strike at that. He walked in the 2nd inning. The only free pass served up by Urquidy in this game. They shift on him on the left side with Altuve over there on the left side, the second baseman for the Astros, joining Correa and Bregman as they stack it up over on the left. Got jammed and flips it foul.
That's one thing this series, if you've looked back, even for the A's bullpen, A's starters, Astros same way. Not a lot of walks this series. Pitchers have been pounding the strike zone.
I feel like the hitters have been very aggressive too.
They have. Well, I think when you look at the ball flying, I'm probably going to be aggressive too.
All 3 swinging teams, it appears, and it is a count of 1-2 to Laureano with 2 down. And he sends this one to left center field. On the move is Springer. He was in right center, has to go to left center, but he'll get there shy of the track to make the catch and end the inning. Olson with a home run has put the A's on top 3-2. To the Oakland A's, an answer though for Altuve in the 1st inning as he connects on the only Astros home run so far today. 2 more though for the Oakland A's. Mark Canna taking it the other way to right center field, and an absolute blast for Matt Olson, who puts the Athletics on top 3-2 with that home run to right field and almost got out of Dodger Stadium to right. Here is Alex Bregman to get it started for the Houston Astros in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bregman 1 for 1. He had a base hit out to left center field in the 1st inning. One of the 4 hits gathered today for the Astros.
Luzardo the last 2 innings though has settled down nice. Thought he's mixing it up well. 47 pitches, 27 fast 9 curve, 5 sliders, and 6 change. So he's done a good job of mixing it up on these Astros hitters.
Bregman will take strike one. May not have been, appeared to be down, but called a strike. And it's 2-1. Luzardo had one stretch where he had retired 6 in a row prior to an Altuve base hit, but they got Brantley to roll into the double play that ended the third. A broken bat, foul down the left field line, some snappage right there, and a fractured piece of lumber. Correa waiting on deck as got some sticky stuff on there. Makes his way plateward again. Did you go heavy sticky stuff in your time?
I did.
Yeah.
I never dressed it all up with everything, but I didn't love the pine tar so much as I love the stick.
2-2 to Bregman. This is driven out towards left field. Back goes Canna. He'll have room. The edge of the track to make the catch just shy of it for the first out of the 4th inning. I feel like anything's got a chance, so if I get excited, that's why.
Well, and I think the good news for us is after that, you realize if a ball gets caught like that, he definitely got jammed.
Yeah.
Because most of these hitters, if they get it, it's out of here.
Yeah. So bear with me. Apologize, Astros fans. You probably thought that one was headed yard based on my reaction, but anything feels like it's going in this series, in this game. One down.
Well, Don, I think with that being said, any ball that's up in the air, it has a better chance to get out than doesn't right
yes,
now.
It's true.
To the outfield.
Correa grounded into a fielder's choice in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1, but in the process picked up an RBI, so productive out. He fouls the first one off here for strike one. Laureano, center fielder, over towards right center. We had some breeze here in the first 2 games of the series. It's doing nothing now. I mean, flags are pretty still out there in straightaway center field at Dodger Stadium. So while it is cooler today, down from 91 to 81, there's less of a breeze, it appears.
And this is where Luzardo gets tough. He just threw a fastball weight 96 to a good curve. A lot of options for him to go here with 3+ pitches.
1-2.
There's 55 pitches right now with 1 down in the 4th inning. Meanwhile, on the other side, Urquidy is at 70 pitches through the first 4. And that'll bounce in. And even the count at 2-2.
And I think if you're Bob Melvin, each out you get today is huge as you keep the lead with that full bullpen that we know he will use at any point today.
Sticking with Luzardo as long as he can with a lead. And trying to contain the 2 guys we talked about a lot off the top. The 2 guys we talked a lot about in the first 2 games of the series in Springer and Correa. And so far today, they're combined 0 for 3. Been able to get Springer twice, a fly out to center and a strikeout. And that is going to be ball 4. So this time Correa is on, but it's a base on balls with 1 out. And the first walk allowed by Luzardo in his outing. That sets the table for Kyle Tucker coming up. Tucker popped out to second base in the 1st inning. 0 for 1, getting his second look at Luzardo. On the ground into a shift, and Listella will go to second for 1, on to first. That's 2, double play. So there it is, the second DP turn by the Athletics. It's 3-2 Oakland.
Irresistible home-style flavors by DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Download the app to try it free today, and by HBO Max. Stream all new originals, movies, and more.
We head into the 5th inning back at Dodger Stadium in LA. It's game 3 of the ALDS, and the Oakland A's have a 1-run lead as they come to bat. And it's a number 9 man and catcher Sean Murphy leading it off here in the top of the 5th. Murphy struck out looking in the 2nd inning, 1 of 3 Ks for Urquidy in this game. Pitch count was a problem early. He'd thrown 46 pitches through the first 2. He's been a little bit more economical as time has gone on. And since the 2nd inning, only the 1 hit, the home run by Olson. This will be pitch number 73, first hitter of the 5th, and it's a fly ball sent out towards deep right center field. Tucker back onto the track, front of the wall to make the catch out there in right for out number 1 of the 5th inning. Murphy, who has a home run in this series, takes it deeply to right field, but he's out number 1 of the 5th.
It felt like he got jammed on that pitch, and it took Tucker all the way back to the wall in right center.
So 4 in a row now retired by Urquidy. 1 down, top of the order. Marcus Semien coming up. He has put the ball in the air twice, popping out to shortstop and flying out to center. Shift on him in the infield on the left side, and now as we have action for the first time, Taylor is up in the pen for the Astros, the left-hander we saw in game 1. Saw a lot of both bullpens in the first 2 games.
We did, and I think Urquidy's starting to get a nice feel for that breaking ball. It's 11 guys now he started off with breaking balls compared to 8 fastballs through this lineup.
Oakland has been unable to string together some hits, get some guys on, get some movement on the base paths. Something they did very well during the regular season. It hasn't given Bob Melvin a chance to put anything on.
I was going to say they really had a tough time of getting a guy on. I mean, today, look, they've got the 3 home runs, but they were 26 of 29 in stolen bases this year. So great percentage, but having a tough time getting that opportunity, putting pressure on this defense.
This one ripped down the left field line. He was out ahead, fouling it off. Full count here to Semien, batting for the 3rd time against Urquidy. With Tommy La Stella homered back in the 1st inning, waiting on deck here for the A's. Semien drives this to center field. Springer going back at the wall. That ball is gone. Home run for Semien. Had 7 during the regular season. It's home run number 4 of the day for the Oakland A's. And they take a 4-2 lead on 4 solo home runs. Unbelievable. And this time it's Semien.
Well, you might wonder about a couple of these getting up in the air and getting out that we didn't think. This one right here was squared up by Marcus. Gets a fastball. And he knows it right away.
.419 feet away for Semien, and the Oakland A's have taken a 4-2 lead. Dusty Baker out to make the pitching change as the A's on the benefit of 4 solo home runs lead at 4-2.
What else could happen? Take it away, Don.
All right, Ernie, thanks very much. This has been amazing. As a 4 of them today for the Oakland A's, and it chases this 4th one does. Urquidy from the game. So he goes 4 1/3 charge with all 4 runs, and it'll be Blake Taylor into the game here for the Astros.
Yeah, Taylor appeared in game 1, came in after Marcus Semien got the single, and they threw it away and was able to strand the runner at second. Good numbers. Yeah, as the guys back in the studio would say, we've got a lot of ding-dong Johnsons going on
yes,
right down
we
here.
do.
And we're only in the top of the 5th.
Stella has got 1 of them. He homered in the 1st inning. His was to center field. He grounded out to first base in the 3rd, so 1 for 2. Semien's blast with 1 out. It is 4-2 now. He's on top. Urquidy left to kind of wonder what happened there. He goes 4 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs. He walked 1 and struck out 3. Ended up throwing 79 pitches in 4 1/3 innings. taken deep 4 different times. 3-0 pitch, and it's in there for a strike to La Stella. So into the pen are the Astros here in the 5th inning. Battles back to make it a full count. Taylor was down 3-0.
And this is what the A's wanted. They wanted to get to the middle of the Astros pen, force them to throw some innings today, and not when they're up by 5 or 6 like game 1 with Greatest out there. Get to that middle pen.
We talked a lot about the Oakland bullpen being the best perhaps in the majors. There's ball 4. Stella's down to first base, but it's been the Astros who have flipped the switch. And in 16 2/3 innings pitched for the pen, they've given up 4 hits, 0 runs. They have walked 6 and struck out 15, but they have been lights out.
Yeah, and it's the whole reason that they've been 4-0 in this playoff. And on the other side, the A's, one thing they did so well this year, from the 5th inning on, they had a +40 run differential. These 2 games here so far, -8. So look for them to kind of keep tacking on.
Runner at first, and here's Chad Pinder. Around this one, foul over by the A's dugout. They're housed on the third base side here at Dodger Stadium. Now we're looking at our T-Mobile base cam. Tommy La Stella gaining his lead at first base. Held on over there by Gurriel. On the ground up the middle, and that'll find its way to center field. A base hit. La Stella stops at second base, and it's runners at first and second with 1 away for the A's here in the 5th. And finally, some base runners getting on here for the Oakland A's.
Exactly what you wanted. Base hit up the middle. You got first and second, and now a hot hitting Chris Davis, who has crushed lefties this year. And of course, with the new 3-batter minimum.
Gotta face him. Sorry.
Yep.
And out there is Maldonado calling a meeting as they get ready to deal with Chris Davis, who has home runs in each of the first 2 games of this division series. Has been quiet today, 0 for 2. We've never done October like this before, and that means anything can happen. MLB has you covered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And it has been a fun postseason so far. This is Game 3 of the American League Division Series from Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium, where the Houston Astros took the first 2 games of this series. The Oakland A's have a 4-2 lead and are threatening here in the top half of the 5th inning. This is to shallow center. Springer coming in, battling the sun big time, but he makes the catch out there. Used the glove to his advantage and handles out number 2.
Yeah, big out. And for the A's, this is an opportunity to blow this game open. Matt Olson with the long home run last AB coming up, lefty on lefty.
They have not had many opportunities with runners in scoring position. We talked about that yesterday. It's not a factor yesterday, but overall 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position in the division series after that flyout by Davis to center field. See what Matt Olson can do this time. Hit a towering home run last time up in the 4th inning. I'm looking forward to this. Let's take a look at StatCast powered by Google Cloud. I'm curious. Here are the numbers. 427 feet away. I'm a 106.9 on the exit velocity.
I just love hearing the bat come off the ball. I mean, that was a loud thunder.
Oh, no.
Shift on him on the right side, and that includes Altuve on the short lawn and right. And Correa moving over there to the right side to join Gurriel. Taylor backing off and checking out his notes in his hat.
Yeah, that's something new you've seen the last couple of years.
Yes.
Don't necessarily love it, but oh well.
Two-0 coming up here at Olson. He's ahead 3-0. You green light him here?
If he gets a fastball in the zone, the way his power is, yeah. I mean, he's got a good eye. He walks a bunch. But it's got to be right where you want it if you're Matt.
He is taking, and he takes ball 4, and that will load the bases. The second free pass handed out by Blake Taylor in this inning. And the third walk overall allowed by Astros pitching. We have not seen a lot of that. Some unusual things happening here in game 3. Bases filled now with Oakland A's, and Mark Canha's coming up. He's got one of the 4 solo shots in this game. His home run to right center field back in the second inning. Flied out to left field in the 4th, so 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Strike 1. This is now the 5th hitter that Taylor has faced since coming in. First time the bases have been loaded here for the A's in the series. Stella, Pinder, and Olsen take up the base right now for the Oakland A's.
And it couldn't set up any better. You got Canha up there. He's hit .333 against lefties this year. A chance to really kind of blow this game open a little bit.
Elevates at 95, and he chases upstairs 0-2.
Yeah, good pitch, upper part of the zone, in off the plate. Not much he could do with that pitch, but got him to 2 strikes. Now he's got to make a pitch here to get him out.
The big spin rate up there as he checks out more notes. Back to the notes a 3rd or 4th time now to be sure. Bases loaded for the A's. 2 down on the 5th. Trying to add on to a 4-2 advantage here as they bat in the 5th. Canha fights it off and fouls it off outside of first. He homered back in the second inning. Had 5 of them during the regular season. Connects on this. It was the 2nd home run of the day for the A's.
Yeah, waited on a breaking ball, drove it to right center, and just enough to get out, and a big hit for him after a slow start the first 2 games of this series.
And a long wait for Luzardo, but he doesn't mind. His team has collected another run and are looking for some more here. 0-2 again to Canha. That's elevated too high. Tried to climb a little higher on the ladder.
You can see they're sticking with that fastball. In 0-2, they pitched before that and had kind of an emergency swing, foul ball.
Trying to think about what he wants to do here. He's have them loaded in the 5th inning with 2 down. Canha shoots it foul again, and the battle continues. That fastball's been very consistent at 95, and that one ended up pretty much right down the middle.
It did, but you can see they're continuing to go to that. Don't want to speed his bat up right now. You know, but Maldonado back there, you can see his brain working. One of the few catchers we see now that doesn't have a wristband on with kind of the pitch thing. Yeah, kind of an old school throwback that.
He's got something though. He just pulled something out of his pocket to check it out.
Yeah,
so
he did.
It may not be on the wrist, but he's got one.
So he hadn't been cheating. Now he just went to the cheat sheet.
The timing was impeccable.
It was.
You're just giving him credit.
Yep. He was faking me out.
1-2. And it's looped to center field. Incoming is Springer, and he'll make the catch. Bit of an adventure, but he gets it done. Home run for Semien. The A's added their lead. On top now, 4-2 from LA in game 3. 2-2. The Oakland A's on top now. They add a run in the top half of this, the 5th inning. Here come the Astros in the bottom third of their order. Gurriel to lead it off against Luzardo. A lengthy wait as Oakland was threatening for more runs. They had the bases loaded before Taylor got out of that jam. He worked his way around a couple of walks to help load the bases for the A's. As Gurriel will take the strike, and it evens at 1-1. Luzardo, the end of the 5th inning, starter, and Gurriel may have gone. They check, nope. As Diaz says he did not offer down there at first base.
And as the game's gone on, you can really tell Luzardo's getting a little more confident in that fastball. He's thrown it to 12 of the first 16 batters he's faced.
Popped up, foul ground. Pinder over by the A's dugout. He won't have a play. Ends up on the roof and well out of his reach. MLB celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month by recognizing the contributions made to our game by the Latino baseball community, past and present. Follow Los Meyeros and at MLB and visit losmeyeros.com for full coverage. Gurriel leading it off here in the 5th. With Diaz and Maldonado to follow, and that is in. Didn't hit him. And a full count now. Gurriel lined out to the left, first time up. He's 0 for 1. As he will take a leadoff walk. The last thing Luzardo wanted to do there. Begins the bottom of the 5th inning. Second walk allowed by Jesus Luzardo.
I think it'll be interesting now to see Bob Melvin how quick he gets somebody up. What his plan is with his team given 4-2 lead.
Lead runner on here for the Astros in the 5th. Ledmees Diaz standing in. Struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. His second look at Luzardo. 2 double plays turned by the Oakland A's so far today defensively. That's been a weapon for them. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th inning. Lead runner on here in the 5th. And again, Luzardo will be looking for a ground ball somewhere in the infield again. Waves at that pitch.
Yeah, 2 off-speed pitches he's had. Is way out in front.
Changed his mind in the middle. Gurriel held on at first base by Olson. Now bouncing well before the plate and blocked there by Murphy. Kept it in front of him. No advance at first for Gurriel.
And that's one thing with Diaz that I thought would be interesting to see. Hasn't had many at-bats. You know, Dusty Baker's gone with that same lineup the first 4 games.
Osmero Petit up in the pen for the A's. There's your answer. They have action already. Diaz just off the end of the bat there. Very defensive cut. Fouls it off. Protecting big time.
Yeah, well, you look, he's gone probably a good 12 days now with not playing much, not getting live pitching, and then you come out here and face a guy throwing 97 with good breaking stuff. It's not easy.
Runs it down and in at 95, and it's 2-2. Dusty Baker matching up against Bob Melvin in this one. Dusty is managing his 60th postseason game. Played in 40 of them. This one is lined down the left field line and headed foul.
I would say he knows a thing or two about October baseball.
Absolutely. And especially in this ballpark. Ironically, the Houston Astros are here playing at Dodger Stadium, where Dusty did most of his major league career. This is line to left, struck well, back towards the corner, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Diaz ties the score at 4 for the Houston Astros. A leadoff walk followed by a 2-run shot for Diaz. And this game is tied 4-4 on yet another home run.
Now, got him all out of whack with these off-speed pitches. Challenges him with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, and he gets the head out 107 off the bat. No doubter.
Luis Diaz placed into the order today. Dusty had a feeling, and boy, that feeling worked out very well. 2-run home run ties the game. 4-4 now, and a bunt bid down to third, and diving forward to make the catch is Pender. Head first dive down there, and he makes the grab on the bunt bid for out number 1.
What a play. I didn't know if he was going to play this on one hop because I thought he had plenty of time still, but great dive. Look at the extension here by Pender. Reads it. Full layout.
Now that is going to do it for Luzardo after the catch by Pender. But more so after the 2-run home run by Diaz. Luzardo's day is over. This game tied up again, 4-4.
When it comes to buying a home, they say cash is king. But you're a queen, and that's just as powerful. You're armed with a verified approval from Rocket Mortgage. Sellers know your offer is good, so your bid has the strength to compete with cash offers. Now grab your crown and rule. That castle is yours. So when you need an edge in the bidding war, Rocket can.
Ever since I took a sip of my drink from Taco Bell and won the all-new Xbox Series X, unimaginable power is at my fingertips. It might be too much for some, but turns out I was made for this.
Calvin, why do you keep talking like that?
Like what?
Get a medium or large drink from Taco Bell and you too can enter for a chance to win the all-new Xbox Series X.
The fighting spirit is one we all share. For Eduardo Perez, it drove him to thrive in his search for a better life. Immigrating from Guatemala at 18, he found work as a dishwasher, a line cook, sous chef, and eventually fought to the top of one of the most challenging professions in the world, proving that there is no challenge that can hold back a fighting spirit. Since 1925, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters what you're made of. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
It's been a home run derby, 17 home runs combined in this series. This is game 3, and this game is tied 4-4 with 1 out in the 5th. And you got George Springer coming up. He'll face the new Oakland A's pitcher. Yes, Miro Petit into the game after Jesus Luzardo departs after 4 1/3. Here's the line on Luzardo. As he leaves, Petit comes in.
And Petit's been a workhorse down there. 80 appearances last season. Something to keep an eye on. Strong the last 2 days in a row. First time this season he will throw him 3 days in a row.
George Springer 0 for 2 in this game. And he gets hit with the first pitch. Aboard. First batter that Petit faces, he hits.
Well, the first pitch he threw to him yesterday went out of here at about 415 feet.
So the hit batter with 1 down, and Springer aboard at first in a tie game. Jose Altuve homered in the first, singled in the third, so he's 2 for 2. And starting to feel it in the postseason after a very quiet regular season in which he hit at just .219. Not only has he been different in the postseason, but so have the Houston Astros. They've won all 4 of their postseason games coming into this and have just erased a 2-run deficit to tie this score at 4 aside. Diaz, the DH, with the 2-run home run that has tied this game 4-4. Altuve will take the strike, high strike at that from Petit.
Petit's done a good job of getting Altuve out on a bunch of curveballs. That's his pitch, kind of. Saul gets ahead there. Be surprised to see him throw something off the plate or that curveball down in the zone, try to get him to roll over something.
Foul back, and it's 0-2. Diaz tying the score 4-4. 3 home runs during the regular season. Pops one here in the 5th inning. Dusty Baker had a hunch, and it's worked out well. Altuve stays alive. He sends it foul up to the upper deck. The Astros coming back kind of takes some of the wind out of the sails of the Oakland A's, and that chance that they had to get more in the 5th inning after they had gone ahead 4-2 on the home run by Simeon. They had the bases loaded. 2 walks were handed to them, and they could not get the big hit. Mark Canha flied out to center, and they left them loaded. And then the Astros come up the very next inning, and they tie the score. Very frustrating, but then again, this entire series has been very frustrating for the Athletics.
Well, and you saw Bob Melvin that half inning when they loaded the bases. He knows they need more runs. You need tack on runs. The way this Astros offense has gone, probably knowing 4 runs might not be enough to get the win.
Remember, the Astros, the A's, I should say, have not scored since the 5th in this series, and a lot of that may have been the shadows, as this one is grounded down the 3rd baseline. Pinder could just pick it up, do nothing with it. Altuve's got himself an infield hit, and it's 1st and 2nd now with 1 down. Well placed down that 3rd baseline.
Pinder just made a beautiful play on a bunt by Maldonado. That play, no chance. See where he's playing with Altuve's speed.
Swinging bunt right there.
Yep. Couldn't have placed it any better.
So 2 on with 1 out, and you get the number 3 man coming up in Brantley. Reeling off some signs is Sean Murphy, the catcher for the Athletics. The infielders know where he's going to throw in a double steal, if at all. Brantley is 1 for 2. Single to right in the 1st. Bounced into a double play in the 3rd. Astros have tied it up now, trying to take the lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Line to center, and that's in for a base hit. Springer will be waved around. Laureano's up and throwing. It is cut off. Run scores, throw to 3rd, and they'll get the out there of Altuve. So they do get the out, but coming in to score for the Astros with the 5th run from 2nd base is Springer, and it's 5-4 Houston. RBI single from Michael Brantley to center field.
Well, talked about this is the 3rd game in a row for deep pitching this year. Hasn't done it yet. Look, we saw a guy the first 2 times through, besides the home run. Springer has a sharp hitting spots here, leaving a lot of stuff over the fat part of the zone.
On the throw, Brantley takes 2nd base. He's in scoring position with now 2 down in the inning. And that'll bring up Alex Bregman. His 1 for 2 single in the 1st inning. Spirals off the backside. No throw from Petit. So 5 runs now for the Astros. And the first run that'll be charged here to Petit. Another 4 to the starter, Jesus Luzardo. To left field, and on the move is Canha, headed back towards the wall, and the ball's going to be off the wall. From 2nd comes Brantley. He'll score. Throw to 2nd. He is not going to be in time, and the Astros take a 6-4 lead. Alex Bregman drives in the 6th Astros run of the day.
You see, that's a pitch up in the zone right there, Don. And you talk about 3 days in a row wondering how these arms would respond. Pete, a guy that doesn't overpower you, he has to hit spots. You miss there to Bregman, that's what's going to happen.
8th member of the Astros to bat here in the 5th inning. And they're going to put him on intentionally. Not going to get a chance to swing the bat is Correa. Intentional walk of the no-throw kind as he heads down to first base. And Bob Melvin heads to the mound to make another move here. We will see a 3rd pitcher in this bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitching change from Dodger Stadium in LA, with Houston now on top 6-4. For the Houston Astros, and chase from the game is Yasmero Petit. He leaves, responsible for the 2 runners on. So far charged with a couple of runs, and Jake Diekman comes into this game.
Yeah, one of their top lefty down in the A's bullpen. Correa to get 1st and 2nd for this matchup, which Tucker's 0 for 4 off Jake Diekman. Big point of the game. Have to find a way to get this out and keep this game at a 2-run.
Kyle Tucker coming up here for the Astros. He has had the big home run that tied the game. They put together some runs as Petit went just a 3rd of an inning, giving up 3 hits. So far charged with the 2 runs. He walked 1. He hit a batter. He did not strike anybody out. And now Jake Diekman comes in. Inherits 2 runners. Bregman at 2nd. Correa at 1st. And here is Tucker, who is 0 for 2 in this game. He's popped out to 2nd and bounced into a 4-6-3 double play. 9th batter of the 5th inning. Swinging to that first pitch and fouling it to the screen for strike 1.
And I think in this series, that's the first time, Don, we've really seen the 3 games in a row, no off days come into play. He's been one of their best relievers all year. You've seen him sharp. I said he gave up the 1 home run to Springer yesterday. Everything was up in the zone today. And, 3 days in a row for some of these relievers, just they've not done it.
Just gets the 1 out in his time out there. Ended up facing 5 hitters before departing. 3rd pitcher used this inning for the Athletics, and that's going to miss down and away. Big gap out in right center field with Ramon Laureano over towards left center. Went around for strike 2. Changed his mind in the middle there. Tried to stop. Could not. So far a 4-run bottom of the 5th inning for the Astros.
Yeah, Diaz went at bat. Some off-speed pitches that he way out in front of, found a way to get the count back even, then with the big 2-run homer off Luzardo.
Fouled off to the left out of play. Luzardo started the game, went 4 1/3, giving him 5 hits and 4 runs he was charged with. Walked 2, struck out 2, and threw 73 pitches. Yasmero Petit adds 2 more, and now Diekman trying to finish off this 5th inning. And preserve what is now a 2-run deficit for the Athletics. In the dirt and gathered by Murphy. No advance for the base runners. Nicely done. And you got Bregman at 2nd, Correa at 1st. Center fielder Laureano to left center. Big gap out in right center field here at Dodger Stadium in LA. Astros have won the first 2 games of this American League Division Series and trying to finish off the Oakland A's today. Trailed by 2, now have a 2-run lead. On the ground up the middle, and that'll find its way to right center field. Around from second comes Bregman. Throw goes to third. Run is in, and up to second base on the throw goes Tucker. It is 7-4. The Astros on top now. Kyle Tucker comes up with an RBI single to center.
They laid off some tough sliders, enabled himself to get a fastball. Banged it in the ground, but in the right spot. You can see the huge hole with the shift. And tacks on another run.
Now they have batted around here, have the Astros in the 5th inning. They now lead it 7-4. Here's Gurriel, who walked to begin the inning and taking a hack at that 96-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. So the run that just scored, charged to Petit. He is still responsible for Correa, who is now at third base. Tucker on the throw took second after his RBI single to center, so it is second and third right now. Gurriel will ground one to third. Pinder going to first base with this, and it will be just in time at first base to finally put an end to the inning, but the damage has been done. A 5-run inning for the Houston Astros. They came in trailing by 2. They lead it 7-4. Just a base cam here when you come back and you cover it all up. We're going to need some help from the grounds crew after that to dive back to the bag by Laureano. And thanks, guys.
And took care of it.
Yeah. Windshield wiper. It's all set. We're good to go. As we roll into the 6th, it's 7-4 now. The Astros on top. And Josh James becomes the new Houston pitcher. First time we've seen him in the series.
Yeah, and you see those numbers this year. Want to know with a 7.27. 6 games in September, though, with a 1.35. So pitching better as of late. But these are guys, Dusty told us today, him, Scrupp, that are going to have to step up and cover some innings.
Bobby Grossman is pinch hitting here for Stephen Piscotty to lead it off in the 6th inning.
And look, the A's got to be happy the way they're swinging the bats today. Where we've seen 6th inning or later this series, A's hitters 1 for 24. So they're going to have to step up.
We talked about it earlier. We thought that the shadows played a big part of that as the game went on, that time of the game, because it was a later start here in the first 2 games. Shadows may not be a factor here. We talked to Dusty Baker about the shadows at Dodger Stadium in the past, and he pointed to a World Series game that Ron Say was hit in the head by Rich Gossage, and a very scary situation just because he couldn't see because of those shadows that we've seen the last 2 days. That's what it reminded him of.
And Dusty said, I was on deck for that. You talk about
a real up close
feeling going up there. We saw Altuve yesterday, really late getting out of a fastball up and in.
A lot of late reactions to stuff in. And as you said, not able to see rotation, spin, figured out.
And you can see Grossman coming off the bench. 3-1 there, took a pitch. Gosh, trouble in the strike zone this year, 17 walks.
Full count here to the pinch hitter, Grossman. And there is a leadoff walk. So pretty much the last thing the Astros wanted there from James coming into the game. And A's need some base runners. They have one to begin things here in the 6th inning. It'll be a good time to get Ramon Laureano going here. He's had a tough go of it for the Oakland A's.
Yeah, look, the 5 runs they gave up put themselves in a hole now, 7-4. But this was the part of the game I think Bob Melvin wanted to get to. See the other part of the Houston Astros pen, not Paredes, who we saw have 3 dominant innings. See some of these other guys.
He said we would see Hendricks today, and was kind of curious whether we would see him last inning with everything going on there and the run scoring. It sounded like he was going to use him not perhaps in a safe situation, but when it was necessary. So that's why I was kind of wondering.
Yeah, I would think at this point. Didn't go. I think you're going to see with no one warming up for them, Diekman try to sneak him 1 more inning, and then we might see Liam Hendricks coming in the 7th, 8th. Who knows? Maybe even it's an elimination game. You never know.
Leadoff walk for the pinch hitter, Grossman. Laureano with a count of 1-1. Double play depth up the middle right now for the Astros. And he sprays this one foul off to the right out of play. 98 from James. He's got the good gas. He's controlling it a problem. With a walk to begin things here in the 6th inning. But ahead of Laureano right now. Pretty much an open right side over there. If Laureano can poke it in that direction. He'll send it that way, but not enough. Altuve to second for one, on to first. A cannon for Correa and a double play. 4-6-3 on the Twin killing. 2 down in the 6th inning. The walk is quickly erased. Correa come up firing here.
Hey, he's one of the strongest arms in all of baseball.
It's a seed to first base.
Yeah.
And James loves it after that leadoff walk for Grossman. 2 down.
Yeah, and when the A's have been down late, last night we saw in the 9th inning, Semien get a base hit to lead off. Double play by Pender to end the game. Same thing here, just having a tough time.
That toss to first base, 91 miles an hour from Correa.
Oh yeah, you throw him on that bump, I guarantee he's hitting mid-90s.
So 2 down. Sean Murphy out of the 9 spot. Struck out looking and flied out to right field. Shift in the infield, left side. A pull hitter will take that one down and away. There's the shift with Altuve moving to the left side to stack it up. The other way in the outfield. Springer to right center for him to go the other way. Did he go? No, he did not, says Laz Diaz. Well, we've seen home runs in this game, but none bigger than Aledmys Diaz, who tied the game up with his 2-run shot to make it 4-4, and that started things for the Astros in their attempt to come from behind, and they did in a big way with a 5-run bottom of the 5th inning to put them on top 7-4. Melvin using a total of 3 pitchers in that inning. Luzardo started it, then Petit and Diekman, who ended up finishing it finally. Two to Sean Murphy. Full count now.
Dusty kind of pushing the right buttons right now. Same lineup for 4 games. Takes Reddick out, throws is in there, and he rewards him with a 2-run tying home run.
It's like a great move now.
Yep.
All the moves he has made so far in the postseason have been outstanding. Astros trying to win their 5th straight postseason game and eliminate the Oakland A's today. Chance to do that on top 7-4 with 2 outs here in the top half of the 6th inning. Remember, the Astros are the home team in this game 3 of the American League Division Series.
A lot of firepower. We've already seen it today. 4 home runs for the A's. Said though, Don, the key, all solo shots. Need a couple long balls with a couple guys on base.
Murphy grounds this to short. Correa's to his left, plants and throws, and plenty of time to get Murphy. Head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Houston on top 7-4. You like home runs? Well, you like this series. 17 home runs combined between the 2 teams in 2+ games of this American League Division Series. 6 today. This home runs for you. And this guy hit a big 2-run home run last inning. Now he drives one to right. Canna just into right, back to the wall to make the catch right in front of the bullpen door. out there in the right field corner for out number 1 of the 6th inning, and that one looked like it might have a chance to get out.
That ball just kept going, kept floating, can all the way to the wall. You talk about the home runs, a huge thing in this series. 9 home runs for the A's, 8 solo shots.
One down here in the 6th, and here is Martin Maldonado. First series in Major League history with both teams hitting 8+ home runs through the first 3 games. It has been remarkable at Dodger Stadium. All-day games, ball flies here during the day, but not this much. Till now. Maldonado's 0 for 2. He is flied out to center, lined out to third base. Out of that 9 spot in the Astros order. And the recipient of strike 2. He agrees, nods his head in acknowledgement of that strike call from Jerry Meals, home plate umpire, and the crew chief, who I think has done a nice job today. Pretty consistent strike zone.
I think the same thing. Just giving both sides. You talk about just the bullpens with the 8 remaining teams left in the playoffs. Teams are 16-1 when leading after 6. Deficit the A's are going to try to make 16-2.
Did he go? No, I guess not. Pretty close. As Diaz didn't think so.
Yeah, last kind of gives you the half hand.
What is
out
that?
There. It's
What
not,
is that? He's done it to me twice now. I don't know what it is. It's like he goes out with one hand and then the other one he leaves in the back. It's very deceiving. Swing and a miss, and that's definitely strike 3. It's out number 2 of the 6th inning. Well, with Grossman pinch hitting for Piscotty, a change in the outfield. Grossman stays in the game, takes over in left, moving from left to right as Marcana made that catch against the wall in right field on Diaz for the first out of this inning. 2 down in the inning, and it's back up top for George Springer, who through all of this does not have a hit. He has reached, though. It's hit by a pitch last time up after flying out to center and striking out swinging.
And with all the damage him and Correa have done, well, Correa has walked twice today, once intentionally.
Diekman has 2 outs here in the 6th inning. He's able to secure the final out of the 5th inning and put an end to that 5-run inning for the Astros. Astros looking to advance to the American League Championship Series. Either the Rays or Yankees. This one is lined sharply, is out ahead.
It'd be what, the 4th consecutive year, I think, going to the ALCS. If they can advance.
Two down here in the 6th. Plenty of outs still for the Oakland A's. Trying to quiet the Astros bats here in the 6th inning. Diekman has 2 outs. And a 2-2 to Springer. And a swing and a miss. Nicely done. Diekman has a good 1-2-3 inning. We head to the 7th with the Astros on top 7-4. It's presented by Utz Snacks. And it's to the 7th inning we go back at Dodger Stadium in LA. 7-4. The Astros have the lead in this possible elimination game. And as Josh James back out there for his 2nd inning of relief for the Astros. And he'll miss badly with that one at 97. Top of the order for the Athletics. Marcus Semien. A home run in the 5th. 1 of 4 today for the Oakland A's. Semien, La Stella, and Pender. Anybody gets on, Chris Davis may have a chance. This one is sharply hit but foul. Evens a count of 1-1. So the first time we've seen James in this series, and he's going to go multiple innings, or at least try to, as he starts this 7th inning for Dusty Baker.
Look, and the A's still have 9 outs. And there's a lot of this ball game left. They have to find a way to me to get a run or 2. Yeah, you'd like to get all 3 back, but cut into the lead. You got the best closer in baseball, you'd imagine, getting ready to come in a minute.
Go on.
So you got to believe he's going to give your offense a chance to get back. Like I said, just you try to get 1 or 2 at a time. You need a base runner.
On the ground and through into left field. There's a base runner as Simeon has got himself a single to start things here in the 7th inning. Well placed through that left side. His second hit of the day.
It's a good fastball and turns and rips that ball right through the hole. He's had great ABs today. Hit the home run in the 5th, but even the 2 flyouts early in the game, good swings.
Maldonado headed out to talk here to James. After the base hit, starts things here in the 7th inning. Let's check in with Matt Weiner.
Well, Don, to Frenchie's point, chipping away is the plan here at this point, but rallies aren't really what the A's have done. 9 home runs in this series, as you mentioned. 8 of those has been solo, the last 8 in fact. And coming into this game, they were hitting just .206 in this series. And remember, during the regular season, they had the 2nd lowest batting average in the American League. They're waiting on the long ball.
They got a runner at first right now, and Tommy La Stella standing in.
And that said it. Chris Davis hit that 2-run homer to start game 1, and since then 8 solo shots.
Shifting on the right side of the Astros, and this one is over the shift into right field for a base hit. Simeon heading for third base as Tucker will get it back in, and the A's have runners at first and third with nobody out in the 7th inning, and a good start to the 7th for Oakland.
Good job by La Stella. Gets a hanging curveball. Saw him hit a home run to dead center earlier on that pitch. This one splits the gap, and now you got first and third, the middle part of the order coming up.
Action in the pen. Raley up in the pen. Looks like he is ready if Dusty decides to go in his direction. Josh James has given up back-to-back hits to begin things here in the 7th inning. And here's Chad Pinder. He's had a 2-hit day. And he drives one to right field towards the corner. Tucker going back onto the track at the wall. It's gone! A 3-run home run for Pinder, and with one swing of the bat for the Oakland A's, this game is tied 7-7. Pinder takes it out of the yard to the corner, and it's 7-7 from LA in game 3 of the ALDS.
Well, Matt just got done talking about solo shots, and what does he do? 3-run homer right down the line. Really a ball that just got up in the air and kept going. Another hanging breaking pitch. Strong kid. They say he's got the most pop on the team opposite field. Well, he just showed you.
Yeah, he does. Into that corner. And running into the short fencing was Tucker, running out of room. The 5th home run of the day for the Oakland A's is a 3-run home run. We've talked so much about the solo shots. This one.
I don't care about the funny way you wear your
3-run home run for Chad Pinder has given the Oakland A's some light fears. They tie the score coming from behind. It's something they've done a lot of this year as they come back against Josh James and get 3 quick ones against the reliever for the Astros, and now Brooks Raley into the game now for Houston.
They're going to rely on their lefty to try to shut this inning down. With that being said, Bob talked about getting to the other part of the pen. You know, we keep talking about the Astros pen. We got to remember that 2 of the guys that came in up in Minnesota were Valdez for 5 innings, and then Javier came in after Raley got out of the jam. So, you know, this, and then we've seen Paredes for 3. So this is the part that they wanted to get to, kind of that middle bullpen, feeling like they could take advantage. And you saw that 3 quick runs.
Well, the bullpen had been stellar. It's the first runs given up by the bullpen this postseason. That covers 18 1/3 scoreless innings be pitched before that 3-run home run by Chad Pinder. It's amazing how good the Astros pen has been. The Oakland A's, though, have exposed it a little bit here today. And now we've got a 7-7 game, brand new game here in the 7th with still nobody out for the Athletics. And Chris Davis, who's had an 0 for 3 day today. He has struck out and flied out to center twice. Foul to the screen. Let's take a look at the inside the numbers presented by DraftKings.
That's right.
That is coming into today. George Springer, good exit velocity there, and this one is popped up. It'll send Altuve, and Gurriel is short right, and it's Altuve. Stutter step there at the end, but he makes the catch for the first out. That was an adventure. One down. And that'll bring up Matt Olson. He hit a very long home run back in the 4th inning. One of the 5 home runs today for the Oakland A's. This has been unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been quite a game. We talked about Dusty Pandia's in there today. Got to give Bob Melvin credit. Kept Pinder in there. Jake Lamb usually is their 3rd baseman against righties. Kept him in. Rewards him with a huge 3-run shot.
Shift on Olson on the right side, and he will pop it up in the shallow center. Correa out. In comes Springer, and he'll get there to make the catch for out number 2. Like for a little bit he didn't see it, but then recovered. He was shaking his head coming in, but he finally located it. Tucker trying to help him along the way. 2 down. A helpless feeling there in the beginning for Springer.
I think him running that way was a lot easier than Tucker coming in the other way. This is where that sun, you can tell, is bright, and now those shadows.
Yep.
Usually see it about 3:30, probably another 20 minutes. You're going to see those creeping over the plate.
Here is Canna. He's got one of the 5 home runs. His was a solo shot, opened up the 2nd inning. Since then, he's flied out to left and flied out to center. Really the 4th arm used by the Astros in this one. There he is, Liam Hendricks up in the pen. We're told we're going to see him, just didn't know when. And not being a safe situation. And it appears that may be the case coming up here next inning. We'll see. This one is driven to left, but he's out ahead of it, sending it a long way foul.
Yeah, Hendricks starts warming up when it's 7-4, thinking I'm going to have to keep my team in this ball game. Now, whole different scenario. Tie ball game. As I've said since mid-June last year, one of the top 2, probably 3 relievers in all of baseball. It's been really good.
One 2 to Canna. Popped up foul off to the right, out of play. Well, it breaks down. Urquidy gave up 4 runs while he was in there, the starter for the Astros. Josh James gives up the other 3 on the back-to-back base hits to begin this, the 7th inning. Simeon and LaStella, followed by the 3-run home run for Pinder into the right field corner. 1-2 pitch coming up here to Canna. Skips in, and it's 2-2.
Well, Josh James, 97-98 with his fastball. Marcus Simeon squared that up for a single. You saw him kind of, to me, go away from that a little bit. Hang the curveball to LaStella, and then, of course, Pinder hit a hanger down the right field line.
We said it. Very good opposite field pop. We saw it firsthand. Raley's 2-2. Canna takes it up top for ball 3. Full count now.
Yeah, Pinder's home run yesterday, the line drive halfway up the stands in right center. This one right down the line. That's something we've seen. All these home runs, Don, but almost there's been a few hit on fastballs. Most everyone something off speed up in the zone that guys are just getting under, and they're out of here.
Robbie Grossman waiting on deck with 2 down here in the 7th. And a payoff pitch to Mark Canna. And that is strike 3. Canna disagrees, but he'll take with him the first strikeout for Raley. Damage done in the inning. Chad Pinder with a 3-run home run opposite field. His 2nd of the series. Brand new ball game. Tied at 7. Game 3. run at 7-7. Both teams with 9 hits as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Liam Hendricks into this game.
This is the guy that Bob Melvin's been waiting to throw out there. You see those numbers. 37 Ks this year, only 3 walks. It was a high velocity fastball, upper 90s with a good slider.
Jose Altuve to lead it off here in the bottom of the 7th, and he's taking a big hack at that 97-mile-an-hour fastball that was up. Well, 8 outs in the postseason for Hendricks, and guess what? They're all by way of the K. Takes over for Diekman, who ended up going an inning and a third in relief and did a nice job fighting down this Astros offense that had put together a 5 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And we were wondering if we were going to see Hendricks in the 6th inning, and as you said, Diekman did a great job of getting to the 7th, and now you have your closer on.
And the closer for Bob Melvin. The last couple of years, we talked about how good this bullpen's been. A 2.72 bullpen ERA this season, led the majors. He's really turned his career around. In 2018, Hendricks was designated for assignment by the A's. He accepted the demotion to AAA, stayed in the minors until he was called back up. The rosters expanded in September. Began his major league career in 2011 with Minnesota as a starter, struggled, became a full-time reliever in Toronto in 2015 from Perth, Australia. And he has been one of the game's best the last 2 years. And a swing and a miss. He strikes out Altuve and make it 9 strikeouts for him in the postseason. 1 down here in the 7th.
Yeah, such a good fastball. It jumps. You can see the hitters. They see it, and it's by him. Does a good job of keeping that fastball kind of on a plane up top, and just guys can't get to it. As you said, what a story. Guy that gets designated for assignment in midsummer of 18. By midsummer 19, he's their closer, got 25 saves last year. And of course, outstanding year this year.
1 down in the 7th, and Michael Brantley coming up here for the Astros. They shift on him as they have on the right side. And that is very high. 97 up and away. Here's the shift. Tommy La Stella ducking back to the short lawn and right with Simeon and Olsen on that right side. A couple of hits today for Brantley. A single to right, single to center. He has scored 2 runs, driven in a run. Takes ball 2.
No, he tipped that.
Did he get a piece?
Late call by Jerry Mills. Tipped it. I think we got a 1-1 count. We do have a 1-1 count. He tipped the back of the bat as it was going in.
Flares it foul off to the left out of play.
That was a late call by Mills.
They have changed the shift now as they bring Chad Pinder over to the right side of the infield. Third baseman now goes over there with 2 strikes on the batter, Brantley. And they leave Simeon on the left side in the shortstop spot. They just traded places after that second strike. Yeah, the shadows are starting. They're making their way towards home plate, which will make this even tougher as we move along late afternoon baseball from Los Angeles. Elevates, and Brantley strikes out. He went up top to get that. Back-to-back Ks for Liam Hendricks. 2 down.
And you're seeing some good hitters. Brantley, you rarely see him chase out of the zone.
Wow.
You know fastball's coming up, swings right through it. And here you can see his arsenal. That fastball, you see the occasional curveball slider, but his fastball's been so good right now. And I think that's what's frustrating, Don, for hitters is you know what's coming. Here comes the heat, and you just can't lay off of it, or you can't catch up to it.
2 down here in the 7th inning, and it brings up Alex Bregman. A couple of hits today for Bregman. He singled to left center field in the 1st, doubled in the 5th to drive in a run, scored a run of his own. Drops in there for a strike. In the air to right field and playable for Mark Cannon, who's out there. He'll make the catch, Bill to the cap high. That'll take us to the 8th in a 7-7 game. The 2020 American League Division Series brought to you by Utz Snacks. TBS Total Motion presented by Progressive as we progress to the 8th inning. And Raley back out there again. He finished off the 7th inning and he starts the 8th. And Robbie Grossman leading it off here in the 8th inning. He'll take a 1-0 for ball 2, and that's 2-0.
Yeah, Raley came in, cleaned up 1-2-3 inning. Actually leads all of relievers in exit velocity with only giving up 81.8 this year, so it's been very effective from the left for the left-hander.
Grossman, Laureano, and Murphy, the bottom third of the Athletics order, scheduled here in the 8th inning. And what is now a tie game, 7-7 here in Game 3. Laureano waiting on deck. He's taken all the way. He takes strike 1. Grossman came in to pinch hit in the 6th inning. He walked. His second plate appearance here comes against Brooks Raley, the 4th arm used by Dusty Baker today. That's ball 4, and a leadoff walk starts the 8th inning. With more on Brooks Raley, let's check in with Matt Weiner.
Brooks Raley took the long road here prior to this season when the Reds signed him. He spent his last 5 years in Korea making more than 150 starts. He comes back with a new perspective. Said he learned how to pitch better, particularly to right-handed hitters. Also came back with a nasty scar because during a postseason game in 2017, a splintered bat caught him in the leg. He had to go to the hospital for stitches and leave the game, but he's back. And for a guy who grew up in the San Antonio area, he's now pitching for one of the teams he grew up rooting for.
Now he is allowed to walk here to begin things in the 8th, and Laureano now batting. Let's see what they do here. That runner at first. Go-ahead run.
Yeah, look, I know there's not a lot of bunting anymore in baseball, but to me, you got a guy struggling this postseason right now hitting, and you got Murphy and Semien on deck with these shadows creeping in. Wonder if you'd see him get him over and give Murphy and Marcus a chance to drive him in.
No sign of that on the first pitch. It has him down 0-1. We'll see what happens here. Throw over to first base, and if he is going to do it, he didn't give it away there on that toss over to first. They're taking a look. Grossman with a leadoff walk that starts the 8th. Laureano has walked today, flied out to center, and last time up bounced into the DP. Bunting here, he bloops one to right field down the line. It'll be a fair ball. Heading for third base is Grossman. Digging it out is Tucker. Throw to second to be late. It's a double, a bloop double, well placed down the right field line, and it's second and third with nobody out for the A's in the 8th inning.
Wow, you couldn't place the ball any better. Gets that cutter in, jams him, gets exactly what he wants. Soft contact. He's able to place it right down the right field line, and now the A's second and third, no outs.
Number 9 man coming up here, Sean Murphy. Second and third, nobody out. This A's team coming from behind and having some dramatics late in ball games during the regular season on a regular basis. They have not been able to do anything in the late innings here in this postseason, at least this leg of it in the ALDS. Until now, they've tied the game 7-7, and now second and third, nobody out, infield in. And Murphy who was standing in, backs out, gets time. Grossman at third, Laureano at second, nobody out here in the eighth. Murphy lifts a fly ball to right field. Over goes Tucker, battling the sun in the sun field, will make the catch. Tagging at third is Grossman. The throw to the plate will be late, and the Oakland A's take the lead. On top 8-7 on a sac fly by Sean Murphy. And on the throw, taking third base was Laureano. So the A's have come from behind to take an 8-7 lead here in the eighth inning.
Well, great job by Murphy, knowing he needed to get something to the outfield, and then to kind of had the cherry on top, the fact that he got it far enough over there where Laureano was able to get to third and try to get one more tack-on run.
Infield in now all the way around for Dusty Baker and the Astros. They're at the lip of the grass. As Semien bats. Now one down in the inning after the sac fly by Sean Murphy. Nice job to get that ball in the air. That is up top for ball one, and popping up like he was going to fire down to third base was Martin Maldonado. Grabbed the attention quickly of Laureano back to the bag. That front door closed too. Semien batting in the right-handed hitter's box, shielding him. This one is lined down the left field line, but foul just out ahead. Fouled back, and it's 1-2. As Raley jumps ahead.
And what makes this so tough on that play, wasn't the deepest fly ball, no, but he's fighting the sun here. So really, first thing you're trying to do is make sure you make the catch. He wasn't able to get his momentum behind that ball to really be able to get a lot on it.
It is line foul again. Well out ahead of that. We'll do it again. 1-2. 1 in 5 kids in the U.S. may not be able to afford to play next season. Text Little League to 313131, and T-Mobile will donate $1 to their Little League Call-Up Grant Program so our kids can keep playing ball. One out, runner at third, a run in for the Athletics here in the eighth. Semien lays off that pitch up top.
Yeah, you see him coming in hard. Last thing he wants to do is let Semien get extension on a ball, because we've seen the way the ball's flying. Anything you feel like to the outfield for the most part is going to carry. Laureano fast runner third, so he's going to try to continue to come in and jam him.
Up and away. That one almost got away. And a full count now. Laureano 90 feet away here for the Athletics. With one out. Andre Scrub up in the pen right now for the Astros. Another guy we have not yet seen in this series. That is just going to miss away. It's ball 4, and Semien down to first base. Second walk allowed by Raley in this inning.
Tough pitch to lay off. Definitely a ball off the plate. Good job by Marcus, knowing kind of what he wanted. And honestly, for the Astros, not the worst case scenario.
Yeah, it sets up a double play scenario now with that runner at first, and a conference going to happen here at the mound. Entire infield coming in to join Martin Maldonado, the catcher, who's gone out to talk to Raley here.
Well, Raley being one of their best left-handed relievers, I think this is where you talk about strategy coming in with no off days. If you're Dusty Baker in there, you start to ask yourself, how many pitches is he not available tomorrow? You don't necessarily, I'm sure, Dusty want to think about a game 4, but that's what managers have to do, think ahead.
So that last walk was the second of this inning, served up by Raley. It's the 9th walk by Astros pitching in the series. only 2 have scored. So Oakland has not been able to take advantage of those walks. We'll see now if they can. One has turned into a run in this inning. We'll see if the other one does. Tommy La Stella, the hitter here, 1st and 3rd. And he'll take strike 1. Mariano at 3rd base, Simeon at 1st. 7 pitches thrown by the left-handed reliever for the Houston Astros, Brooks Raley, who'll go to 1st. And easily back to the bag is Simeon. We are looking at our T-Mobile base cam, and the lead by Simeon. And that one hits him. Painfully so. La Stella goes down. This will load the bases, and he is in some pain. Did not react real well to that pitch in.
I just hope this didn't get him right on that elbow. It was loud from up here. A tough guy like La Stella, you can tell he is in some pain. I think he just missed that pad and got him down on the bottom part of the elbow.
I was going to say he's got the elbow guard on, but I'm not sure it helped him there.
No, I think it hit just under it where I don't know if you've seen, but twice he's grabbed that and he's flinched.
.90-mile-an-hour pitch. We'll see if he stays in this game or not. He is going to come out of this game.
And that's a tough baseball player right there. He's old school. He's got to be hurting. He probably has no feeling in that arm right now. And tough for a guy that's had a great game.
So Stella leaves here. We'll get a pinch runner for him. The bases will be loaded for the Athletics. Nate Orff is going to run at first base for Tommy La Stella. So the bases are filled with Athletics, and you get Chad Pinder coming up. Pinder, of course, had the 3-run home run in the 7th inning that tied the score 7-7. The A's have pushed across the go-ahead run on a sac fly by Sean Murphy, and now looking to obtain some insurance as they continue to bat in the 8th. Remember, they left the bases loaded back in the 5th. Now they got them loaded in the 8th. And that is down and in, almost hit Pinder.
Yeah, you start to wonder, that pitch count's getting up, 30 pitches. Talked about Bob Melvin putting the hot hitters up top today. 1, 2, 3. Those guys 7 hits out of their 10 today.
It's paid off
done
big
the damage.
time.
Yep, and they got a chance right here to really blow open this game.
Pinder chops one foul outside of 3rd, and that'll even the count at 1-1. Now Pinder in the 7th inning, able to tie the score 7-7. Opposite field, into the right field corner and gone. Tied it up at the time. No chance for Tucker up against that short fencing. About 3 rows deep and out of his reach. Now Pinder can add on for the Oakland A's. And a swing and a miss. Has him down 1-2.
We talked about him missing some time late in the season the last couple weeks. You can tell now his swing's starting to come back. We've seen that power opposite field big time.
Mariano, Simeon, Orff. And a pinch runner at first base. And a 1-2 to Pinder. Up and away, and almost got away as Maldonado leaping out of the crouch right there to reel that in. And Scrub up in the pen. He's been waiting, but has not been called upon yet. They're riding Rayleigh right now, trying to get out of this mess without any further damage. Two-two to Pender. And it is driven in the air to right field. Tucker headed over towards the corner, battling the sun, will make the catch, tagging at third base, and scoring is Laureano. And that will put the Athletics on top 9-7. And taking third on the play is Simeon. He tagged up two. It was deep enough. And it's 9-7 now. Oakland on top in the 8th inning.
I'll tell you what, a team that's done such a good job of hitting home runs this whole series. Little small ball getting the job done with 2 sac flies, things you have to do to win in the postseason. And they're able to extend that lead to 9-7. And with the righty up down in the pen and then keeping Raleigh out there, I think this is, you're seeing that Dusty's got one of his best relievers out there. How far he's gone now, 33 pitches. Don, I think this is, I'm going to keep trying to get him out of this because he's not pitching tomorrow.
We talk about Oakland not scoring after the 5th inning. They got 5 runs after the 5th inning in this game. So it has been much different. Chris Davis is up. First they check on Orf at first base, who is pinch running after Lostello was hit by the pitch, had to leave the game. It's 1st and 3rd right now, with 2 down in the 8th. And Davis the hitter. 2 sac flies in this inning have produced 2 runs for the Oakland A's, who have gone on top 9-7. Regular season, the most pitches Rayleigh had thrown was 36. This will be 35 coming up right here in this postseason game, game 3 of the ALDS. Shift on Davis on the left side, virtually the entire right side open, and the strike poured in there. Shadows making their way to the plate. That adds to it too.
Yeah, Chris Davis not liked a couple of the inside pitches called on him. Urquidy had one in the 1st inning that he disagreed with Jerry Meals.
Over to first and back to the bag again is Orf. So 5 home runs today by the Oakland A's also. It ties a franchise record. October 27th of 1989 against the Giants in game 3. Henderson had 2, Phillips 1, Lansford 1, and Canseco 1 for the 5 that the Oakland A's had that day. And that's in there for a strike, and that's strike 2. And I don't think Davis liked that one either.
No, but after calling those 2, if that next one's in there, you might want to pull the trigger.
Close, and it's 2-2. George Springer, the center fielder, over towards right center.
Pender's ball to right field, a lot longer, that sac fly. But even on that ball, you saw Tucker almost making sure he just caught the ball before anything with that sun, fighting the sun out there.
May have gone around. They check. Yes, he did. Laz Diaz rings him up, and that will end the inning as Davis strikes out to end the inning. But the damage done. 2 runs for the A's. They're on top now, 9-7 as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
We're at the movies and we need to silence our phone. Who knows where that button is?
I don't have silent.
Everyone does, right up here.
It happens to all of us. We buy a new home and we turn into our parents. What I do is help new homeowners overcome this.
Was that an adjustable spanner? Good choice, Steve.
Okay, don't forget, you're not assisting him. You hired him. You have nowhere to sit. You have too many. Who else reads books about submarines?
My dad.
Yeah.
Oh, those are...
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
Look at that.
guys got your act together? You guys ready to do this?
Sal, come on, we're waiting on you, buddy.
I'm gonna just bail on the makeup. They sent the bag of makeup. I'll give it to my grandma.
Were we supposed to do makeup? I got a whole spread of food, everything you can possibly imagine. It's fantastic.
I'm gonna need 5 minutes.
Impractical Joker's Dinner Party. New episodes return October 29th on True TV.
We have now seen how hungry the players are to be involved in our academy.
You're always fighting for a spot, so you always feel the pressure, even if it's an inner squad against each other. I just know what I gotta do and keep focused.
You have to be able to execute because you never know what's going to happen. You know, you never know when these opportunities are going to be taken from you again.
You didn't know how bad you wanted prime rib, charbroiled Angus beef, and melted cheddar cheese sauce, but now you do. The new prime rib and cheddar Angus thick burger at Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Feed your happy.
This is the current Irish whiskey belt holder. This is the Rich and Smooth Challenger. Ding, ding. Proper number 12 Irish whiskey. One for all.
9-7 A's here in Game 3 of the ALDS. We've arrived in the bottom of the 8th, and closer Liam Hendriks has truly arrived because he has himself a T-shirt with his likeness on it. They came to the A's clubhouse here on Tuesday, and the story goes like this. After pitching 68 pitches over 2 games in the wild card, manager Bob Melvin walked past Hendriks and apparently described his effort as Herculean, as in Hercules. Well, Liam heard it the way he wanted to hear it, Herculean, and said somebody should make a T-shirt. Of course, they obliged him, and now he has it. Had a long talk with the Australian All-Star. 3 facts for you guys. He has celebrated the last 2 A's milestone wins, the divisional wild card, by participating in a team putting contest in the nude. His favorite Aussie Rules football team is the North Melbourne Kangaroos. He says they're abysmal at the moment. Finally, this one's for you, Frenchie. In his memory, he says you were 0 for 2 against him with 2 strikeouts. We checked. You were actually 2 of 7 against Hendriks with 4 strikeouts, which may not be T-shirt worthy, but is not an offer.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's even better. I mean, the strikeouts, Matt, I knew they were there. That's why I'm up here with Don.
Leadoff single here by Correa against Herculean. He's now working to Tucker.
I think we got to get a little more info as we go about this putting contest in the nude. I'm all for putting contest.
The clothing choice. Yeah. I'm very curious. I need to know more. Lead runner on here, Correa, Tucker. 1 for 3 today with an RBI single. As Hendriks pitched the 7th inning at a 1-2-3 inning, 2 strikeouts. And very late on that is Tucker. And that shadow's over there. And we got the catcher interference, I think. Did sound awkward, and to first base will go Tucker. So the first 2 Astros will reach here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That's exactly what happened. They're going to challenge this, and incoming is Laz Diaz.
That was a tough angle to see, but I will tell you this. It seemed like Murphy never put up a fight. I don't know. Did you see what? See if we can watch that one more time. You see the mitt. I feel like it goes down just a little bit from that angle. Watch right there.
I thought I heard it. That's what I thought. I don't know there. Again, the call, and that's the thing, is there enough there to overturn it? As the call is interference.
definitely sounded like it might have hit some leather. Definitely hit some.
Now, I heard 2 hits. The question is, do I hear the foul tip as being the second hit into the glove? So it was a foul tip, but they're going to say that it was catcher interference, and they put him on at first base. Tucker aboard, 2 on, nobody out.
The thing you look at it, though, in that scenario, you saw Tucker look right away. You know, you don't see that too much. And then Murphy, as I said, never really put up a fight.
No.
So I thought that
is an indicator.
Both those guys to look and not really say anything.
So it's an E2. And it is first and second, nobody out here in the 8th. And Yuli Gurriel has lined out to left. He's walked and scored, and last time up, grounded out to third base. So the Astros making some noise here, trailing by 2 in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Definitely these Astros hitters got these shadows to work with now that are tough, and Hendricks is going to need a Hercules type effort here because this game's his.
He came into the game in the 7th, the closer. So the 7th, he's in there for the 8th. First 2 have reached. If you're wondering about the most pitches he's thrown on the year, 29 of them. September 16th at Colorado. This is popped up. It's on the infield. Infield fly rule in effect, and that is out number 1. Want to clap or cheer for your favorite team even when you're not at the ballpark? Now you can with MLB's Cheer at the Ballpark. Visit MLB.com/cheer for a full list of cheerable games and let your team hear your excitement from home. 1 out. That was a huge out here in the 8th, and it'll bring up Diaz. Had a huge hit back in the 5th inning. A 2-run home run that tied the score at the time, 4-4. First start of the series in this game 3.
Well, if you're Bob Melvin, the thing you're watching with Hendricks is that pitch count for him. Not necessarily the outs, because you've seen guys take 40 pitches to get 5 guys out. He's been efficient so far. That's the key for Liam, because you got to believe they're going to ask him to get 9 outs right now.
This one is right in front of the plate, and jumping out there aggressively as Murphy has 1 play. It's at first, and he makes it as the runners advance. Kind of worked like a bunt right there. As it was a full swing, Correa will take third, Tucker second. 2-3 on the put out at first base, 2 down. It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter coming up here. Reddick coming up. So he is going to pinch hit for Maldonado here with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Interesting.
I thought we might see him pinch hit for Diaz, but decides to go here with 2 outs. Turn to the veteran Reddick.
So a big play certainly in this inning. Kyle Tucker reaching on the catcher's interference. That was the way it was ruled on the field, and the call stood after they reviewed it. Not enough evidence to overturn it, and the E2 is handed out to Sean Murphy, the catcher on the play. And Tucker's since advanced to second base. Correa is at third with 2 down. And the pinch hitter is Josh Reddick.
Yeah, Maldonado 1 for 10 career off Hendricks. Then you look over for Josh Reddick, 5 for 15, so hitting .333 against him.
It's going to miss away. Up and away again, and upset with himself after that last delivery. Lashing out there after that last pitch.
I think upset with himself, obviously missing arm side big time, but he also knows who's on deck.
Yeah, top of the order, George Springer. He's been quiet today, but he's due. Ray at third, Tucker at second, 2 down. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, these Astros hitters right here for Reddick. You can see the shadows he's facing. So not only are you facing 97, you're seeing it come in the sun, out of the sun, and into the glove.
Elevates and Reddick chases to even the count of 2-2. That was 97 and out of the zone up.
Well, he's the type of guy loves this fastball. You see, it's 2 in a row he's been able to put right there. It's what makes him so good. Don, I got to believe he's going right back with that pitch, try to get the strikeout.
2-2 pitch coming to Reddick, and it's fouled back to the screen. We're talking about his highest total of pitches during the regular season being 29, but of course he threw 49 against the White Sox in the wild card, and that was in an inning and 2/3. There's 10 hitters in that game already in this postseason. Now here he is in the second inning of what's an old school closer looking for 3 innings perhaps.
Yeah, right.
How it used to be. Five for 15 against Hendricks is Reddick, and he is pinch hitting here with runners at second and third for Houston. 2 down in the 8th inning. Reddick will take ball 3, full count now.
And if you're Josh, smart hitter like Josh, been around a long time, you got to sell out fastball, upper part of the zone. I know it's tough to lay off if it's too high. You saw him able to do it there, but you got to believe he's coming with his best pitch, and that's what it is.
Springer hoping to get a chance on deck here. The signs from Sean Murphy to Liam Hendricks. Payoff pitch. Reddick strikes out, and Hendricks out of a major jam breaks the bat as Reddick strikes out, and the Astros leave 2 in scoring position. That'll send us to the 9th in Game 3 of the ALDS. It's 9-7 Athletics. And Hendricks the
first pitch is at 7:10, but with this game just going to the 9th between the A's and the Astros, we're going to start that game on TNT. Got that? Good. Done.
I got it, Ernie. We're back here in LA, and we're in the 9th inning. It is now Andre Scrubb into this game for the Astros, a completely new battery. Dustin Garneau doing the catching, and Scrubb had been out there a long time warming.
Yeah, good numbers this year. 1-0 with a 1.9. You see this one kind of thing he struggles with control. 20 walks.
There's the other part of the battery that has been replaced as Garneau takes over. Maldonado was pinch hit for, and it was a big strikeout of Reddick, who pinch hit for Maldonado that end of the 8th and left 2 Astros aboard and took us to the 9th inning. Boy, Hendricks was terrific through 2, and you got to figure he is going to go the distance here, trying to finish it off for the Oakland A's. I guess it would depend upon how many runs are added on here by the A's. If none, you have to imagine he's back out there again.
Even 2, you're 11. I got a tough time taking my closer out of this game.
Absolutely.
You got to get to Game 4.
Olsen will take strike 3, and that's out number 1 of the 9th inning. So that was amazing as he is able to strike out the pinch hitter Reddick. And Reddick not happy at all. Elated on the other side.
And you can see the emotion. I know there's no fans here. People wondered what it was going to be like. Look at Hendricks.
Postseason baseball for you right there.
Yeah, pumped up.
There's Mark Canha with 1 out. Yeah, you wonder about the adrenaline level without the fans. It's there.
Oh, absolutely. You play this long, you play all season, you go through the protocols, what they've done. They all want to get down to San Diego, these 2 teams, for that ALCS.
Canha homered back in the 2nd, one of the 5 home runs put together by the Oakland A's today.
And you can see those shadows starting to come. You can see, I thought Olsen didn't see it. I'm sure Oakland would love to tack on a few. Maybe they want to get Hendricks back out there and say, make the Astros face with that shadows.
Yeah, maybe we'll make this quick, this part of the 9th inning. Get him back out there again. because it is a challenge. There is no way around it, and we've seen it in the first 2 games of the series. This game started an hour earlier, I should say, here. And as it turns out, the shadows we didn't think would be a factor, but as this game has gone on and the length of it, the shadows very much right now about halfway to the mound, maybe a little more. Ball and 2 strikes to Canna. And that is in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a new baseball. He'll get one. Yeah, they left Raley in, as it turned out, for 2 innings. Gives up ahead a couple of runs, walked 2, struck out 2. 2-2 from Scrub. And it's a liner into right field. Opposite field base hit for Mark Canna. His 2nd hit of the day. Well, the A's bats have come alive here in game 3. They needed it the most.
Top of the lineup's done such a great job with some huge hits, and Canna and Olsen with huge home runs for the A's too today.
They talked about the change in the lineup, wanting to get the guys who had been producing, getting some hits, having good at bats up in the top part of the order. And boy, they have come up big. Simeon with a home run, 2 hits. Yeah, Stella, while he was in the game, on base 4 times, 2 hits, a home run for him. Chad Pinder, big 3-run home run. He had 3 hits and a sac fly. I mean, those guys, tremendous. Exactly what Bob Melvin wanted. It's the way he really drew this up.
Yeah, he had to have that. He had to have his stars show up today.
Chris Davis, very quiet, 0 for 5.
Yeah. Him and Jerry Meals never really could get on the same page.
No,
they
didn't agree on much today.
No, but he's been magnificent the last 4 games.
Grossman lines this one down the left field line, headed foul, and off the protective screening down the left field line. Well, in the 6th inning or later, the Oakland Athletics in games 1 and 2 collectively were 1 for 24. Today, 5 for 12 from the 6th inning on. Difference, well, they got a 9-7 lead right now as they bat in the 9th, and Grossman taking a hack at that. Has him down 1 and 2. Came in to pinch hit in the 6th inning. He walked. Came up to bat in the 8th. He walked again, and he's the one that got it started. The 2 runs scored in the 8th inning for the Athletics with that leadoff walk that started it all. So coming off the bench and contributing in a big way.
He got the walk. We talking about strategy, what Bob Melvin was going to do. Thought maybe Laureano had been struggling. Maybe we'd see a sac bunt. Well, they got kind of, to me, their first big break, getting jammed, but putting it right down the right field line to set them up for those 2 sac flies.
Swing, and Grossman strikes out. That's the 2nd K for Scrub, and out number 2 at the top of the 9th inning. Let's take a look at tomorrow's schedule. NLDS Game 3, the Braves and the Marlins at 2 on FS1. Game 4, if necessary, in this series on TBS at 3:30. Game 4 of the Rays and Yankees on TBS at 7 tomorrow. NLDS Game 3, Dodgers and Padres at 9 on MLB Network. All games available, of course, on ESPN Radio, and the full postseason schedule available at MLB.com. 2 down in the 9th, and Laureano will sky one left side. And Correa on the dirt of the infield. Now ducking back to the outfield will make the catch that ends the top of the 9th inning. To the bottom of the 9th we go. 9-7, Oakland on top. very much as Liam Hendriks back out on the mound. It is time for the Geico game summary, and what a game this has been. It is 9-7, Oakland on top. The starters didn't last a whole bunch again today, and home runs everywhere. A total of 5 today for the Oakland A's, 2 for the Astros. And it is Liam Hendriks, the closer, who started the 7th inning. He pitches the 8th, gets out of a major jam, and now he's on for the 9th. And George Springer's going to lead it off and foul it off to the right and out of play. At the beginning of the 9th inning, Jerry Meals, the crew chief, looked up to the press box and asked them to turn the lights on. He made the universal sign to turn the lights on in the stadium as the shadows were cast across home plate. They did not, as it turned out, while the Oakland A's were batting. So then, as we went to break, they put the lights on with the Astros coming up. It's supposed to be in effect for the full inning, and Bob Melvin went out there to argue that point. And they have kept the lights on here for the Astros, as that one is in the dirt. He did not go, says Laz Diaz. But that's kind of a big deal, no?
Well, you're supposed to have it for the top of the inning.
Right.
If one has it, the other, and I don't know if it took 5 minutes. I've actually played the game before where they delayed the game 5 minutes for the lights to come on for the top of the inning. But, you know, I would guess, too, with your closer out there, the last thing he wants to do is delay at this point. But definitely strange.
Did he go? They check. Laz Diaz says no.
Yeah, you want drama. Your closer going on his 3rd inning with the top of this Astros lineup, who's been so good this series.
Two-two pitch. And it is popped up foul off to the right, out of play. He seems to be up to the task, a guy who just loves this situation, this stage right now.
Well, and how many pitches you say he threw? 49 in that wild card?
49 against the White Sox.
So he's got to be feeling great right now.
Feels all right, yeah.
31. Look, he knows what's at stake right here.
For the first out of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss, and striking out is Springer for the first out of the 9th inning. 1 down.
Now, even for his 3rd inning, no drop in velocity. 97, top of the zone. Another swing that's just under it. You can see Springer's face. It's tough. You see it, Don, and then before you know it, it's in its glove, and you're walking back to the dugout.
So 1 down in the 9th inning. It'll bring up Jose Altuve. Another topic that could have been on Bob Melvin's plate there between innings with Jerry Meals. They didn't feel like there was a catcher's interference there either, and perhaps looking back at some video did not think that was the case, and he was out there to talk to him about it after that inning as another possibility in the conversation between the crew chief Jerry Meals and the manager Bob Melvin. But it is 9-7. The Oakland A's have the lead right now with 1 out in the 9th. And Altuve will take the strike over the outside corner. How much do those lights help in the shadow situation? I mean, is it a big deal?
I've never really thought about it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that does, but obviously one of the managers, which we're assuming Dusty, asked for it.
Popped up right side. Orf and Olsen, and it'll be Olsen who makes the catch for out number 2 of the 9th inning. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Michael Brantley. He's got 8 of the 9 outs, does Hendriks, that he has brought on to get here in this ball game. Old school closing situation for him. A 3-inning effort is what he's looking for right here.
Yeah, usually you see these, like you said, old school, or it's a blowout. You're beating a team 10-1, and you come in and get the final 9 outs. He's had 9 swing and misses on 19 pitches today of his strikes.
Michael Brantley batting here with 2 down in the 9th. Stacking up on the right side defensively. Hendriks with a 1-0 pitch to Brantley. And it's fouled off over by the Oakland A's dugout and into it. Even the count of 1-1.
Well, you talk about strategy all the time in a 5-game series. This was a must-win for Oakland. We said it. We were going to see Hendricks, we thought, for at least 2 innings.
Yep.
Here he is 1 out away. Houston on the other side is going to kind of look at it. Look, they let one get away a little bit being up 7-4, but they have also made their closer now throw upwards of 40 pitches.
Brantley will lift it in the air to left field as Grossman wanders in. He's under it, and the Oakland A's live for another day. What a win for the Oakland A's. Final score is 9-7. Coming up next, Game 3 between the Rays and Yankees at Petco Park. TBS is the exclusive home of the 2020 American League Championship Series. For Jeff Francoeur and Matt Weiner and the rest of the crew, I'm Don Orsillo as we send you to San Diego.